going to ask you a question before you went live. I didn't realize you hit record.
I didn't even know if C went live.
I did. 166 episodes in. We still don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Hey, let's just wait.
That's our
Don't
thing.
forget, I missed 2 episodes, so I'm only 164 in. I am way behind you guys.
You didn't miss 2 episodes. You missed 1.
I thought I missed 2.
One official.
No,
the other 2
you missed one official.
were
Two. We said we did bonus episodes. That's the one where we had guest hosts on.
You guys and your fucking bonus episodes.
Well, we had to. Well, this time we couldn't do bonus because we have to do 3 shows a month. So it needs a number. We're not going to do 4 shows because you can't make one. What are we fucking, So,
yeah.
So we couldn't make it a bonus.
Do you remember,
Chris,
you remember the days when it was like, if
weak.
one can't go, none can go? Now it's like, fuck you prick. We got to do the show. You're out. We
owe it to the listeners, to the patrons.
The listeners, I've been speaking to the listeners. They say we don't owe them that much.
Well, we don't give them that much, so it's okay.
It's perfect.
Obviously.
It's a win-win.
It's a BS show. Right. Think about how great they have been. It's a BS show, and 99% of them don't care that we do a BS show. Almost everybody loved the idea. Didn't care that we weren't going to have movie reviews once a month, that we were going to do BSing. I don't even acknowledge it.
No, I told you. Look, I wasn't even acknowledging it either. I said it's once a show. It happens. It happens every fucking show.
I was like, I'm not even going to fucking talk about it. Yeah.
And pops up. But I saw his fucking stupid face in the car. like, do you believe this prick dropped out again?
I was going to B. I didn't know if you could see me. So then I'm looking at D like, I'm not even fucking. And even D is like, I'm not. Don't even say it. Don't even acknowledge it. If he drops
just let him go.
It drops out. We'll just get a guess.
Hey, I'm cool. I'm playing with things that happen.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to bring any attention to it because then he bugs out. Then it's a 10-minute fucking thing. This, that. You're just better off letting things.
I've been a lot better. I've been bugging out a lot less lately.
Really? What are you on? Or what do you want?
It's same shit.
It's all the cock he's been sucking.
hey, what? JP's joining us. Oh shit! I ruined it. Sorry.
Oh. Fucking guy.
Well, I heard Dave go, "Hey!" Like I knew he wasn't talking to me about my breakthrough and doing better. He was like, "Hey!"
Well, I'm happy about that too. I just got distracted.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Well, where the fuck is this prick?
I'm looking for him. Hold on a minute here. It's been a while. There he is. That's him. Now you add. See? Oh, what a nice fucking surprise. I thought he was dick teasing us. I thought he was honey dicking us.
I was hoping.
I said he's fucking... he's honey dicking.
There he is.
No. There he is.
Is he there? Whoa, shit. Are you there?
On? Is he there or not here? What the fuck's going on?
He's on, but he can't hear him. Put your mic... Unmute your mic or something.
It's been too
long.
long.
The guy has like 15 podcasts. You figure he knows what he's doing.
No, have you heard any of the 15? You know he doesn't know what he's doing.
He's joining us because he hasn't put on any of his own shows. He's like, okay,
he's on, but he hasn't plugged anything in yet.
He's starting a new one, his and his. It's just him by himself now, arguing with himself.
Holy shit! Oh. So
is it though? It is. Is it though? It is.
Poor bastard. I don't know what he's doing. When he gets here, he gets here.
I see the white circle around him, like lighting up, like it looks like he's trying to talk.
Sorry.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
My mic was not picking up for some reason.
Oh, buddy, it's cool.
Perfect.
It was perfect for the show. Yeah. Oh, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Welcome. We're doing great. Brandon's doing fantastic.
10 o'clock. What do you think about the 10 o'clock record time?
AM?
Yeah.
This is late for us.
It's different.
This is late for us, but I feel like JP's probably like, this is ridiculous.
Well, we switched our record time to 4 p.m., so it's not as crazy as it once was.
It still doesn't answer my questions.
Yeah, well, I usually am not. I usually don't get up until like 1 p.m. So it's a little early for me. But my sleep schedule's a little weird right now. I woke up at like 5 a.m.
Okay,
You've been working.
Sleepy JP for the fucking show. Great.
Sleepy.
Hey,
I'd rather have awake Jeremy.
It's sleepy.
awake, Jeremy.
Can I get awake Jeremy on the show?
Man,
I'm kidding, JP. Welcome. It's been far too long, man. What was it? Like, was it officially when we did Trick or Treat?
Episode 22, I believe.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was 22. Holy shit.
Well, welcome to 166.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
166. You guys are catching up to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last episode. Spoiler.
At this rate, we may catch up to you because we're putting out 3 a month, and you guys are kind of, I don't know.
I think we only put out like 12 last year.
Yeah, it's like summer vacation every 2 months for you guys. Moods keeps going out to the woods to find himself or something like that. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh shit. But yeah, I know you're busy. You're working a lot. There hasn't been his and hers or any of that shit, huh? You've been just fucking.
Yeah. I've been really busy, and on top of that, just like a lot of personal stuff going on and things. So, yeah, it's been rough to record. I think for 22 shots, we had 4 recording dates in a row we missed. Like, it's been insane. Like this is the first year we missed the Christmas show since we started. Wow. So this would have been like the 8th one or something like that.
It was still my favorite Christmas show.
Yeah.
You knew that was coming. I just in case everybody doesn't know who's on, it's JP for 22 shots. So well, this is going to be patron only for at least a year. So it's a very small audience that we're catering to right now, JP. You know them all, I think.
Yeah, I probably know a good bit of them. Yeah, but you know, I've been wanting to record on your specific show for a while now. I just never lined up. But you guys have been on with us recently. Well, except for Christian, he bailed on us.
Yeah, he did.
I did. I mean, I did the work, but yeah, I actually did bail.
The worst kind of bailing.
Yeah, I know.
All the work.
It was one of those things where the family schedule went fucking haywire, like I think the Monday before we were supposed to record or something like that. And then I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked here. I remember it was the week Halloween Kills came out. Because I was making a joke that I'm gonna ditch the show to go see it, but it came out Thursday.
I wanted to ditch the show to go see
it. Well, you could have gone in the afternoon. Perfect. Afternoon Halloween Kills, 4 p.m. record. You have it all. Although you guys were probably working that day, right? I imagine. I don't fucking know. What do I know?
What do you mean? You were there.
Yeah, but it was at 4 o'clock. I'm saying prior to that.
You made it, Dave.
I did.
I don't know if you know how podcasts work, but when you talk into this microphone, it's recorded. There's like proof of it thereafter.
What I'm saying is, at 4 o'clock that day, we were there. Well, you weren't there. I was there. JP was there. Brandon, etc. We were there, right?
I don't know if I'm here right now with what I'm hearing.
All I know is that at 1 a.m., you guys were still there. And I was like, you guys are still fucking I can record now. I could have came in at like 11 p.m.
It's one person's fault.
Dave Parker.
No.
Dave Parker. It's Dave Parker. I love Dave Parker, man.
Oh, it's Moods too.
Yeah, Moods and Dave Parker talking about Valerie and her week of wonders. I think it was more like 2 weeks of wonders with the way they talked about it.
Yes.
But I don't blame him. Moods hadn't recorded in a very long time. He was excited to regroup with everybody and everything else and actually be on the podcast. So
yeah, we did. We did like 2 hours of just bullshitting before we even hit record.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
So,
well, I'll be honest. Like, since it's been mostly like me, Dave, and Moods on our most recent show since we came back from summer break. I think we only did like three or so, but we had like cut out the BS before the show, and we would just like start at 4:20, and our shows were record short. We were putting out like 2.5 hour shows, which is like crazy for us. So it just with everybody's lives, it's been so different from when we first started, and we all had way more free time. I'm sure you guys are going through similar things, but it's like lucky that we're still even around at all to, with everybody's lives, how they are and stuff like that. So we're just trying to cater to our lives to keep the show going in some form or way. And that requires us to cut. It's so funny because people always complain that the episodes are too long, and then when we start shortening them, everybody's like, "What's up with these short episodes?
You
like,
can't
this is
fucking win."
ridiculous."
I know. Fuck everybody. That's what I always say.
Right.
That goes directly to all you patrons out there. Fuck you all.
Right.
But you can't win. You can't win.
Right.
We did the same thing too. Hey, we're gonna put out 4 episodes this month. Why are these episodes only 2 hours long? I'm gonna choke the fuck out of you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it escapes.
I'm half kidding.
The thing is, it's like with JP. He would not in the past. He would bust balls about it. You guys don't have time for this year. But eventually, it escapes no one. Imagine JP. Imagine if you had this going on and you had a wife and a kid,
A family. Yeah.
Right, imagine that on top of everything else and how hard it is.
Imagine you're Mike Merriman. Wait. No, wait.
Well, Mike
I guess
Merriman
nothing changes.
time. He's the only one. He bends time and fucking he's a time traveler.
Yeah, he's the last
fucking
airbender. He's
Yeah.
the last airbender.
Like with Mike Merriman, I literally am like wondering. I'm like, is your family real? Because I don't think they are. If there wasn't pictures, I wouldn't believe that they were actually existed.
I think they're
Photoshop
fake. I think
exists.
it's his brother's family probably. He probably just goes, Uncle Mike's here. He has this big front that he has his family.
I don't even think the beard is real. It's all a
Does he still have
facade.
beard?
Oh man.
So okay, outside of Mike, I mean everybody else. Well, I'm not honestly. If you're a single man and you just work 40 hours a week of regular, let's say whatever your shift, it doesn't matter. You can bend it. You know what I mean? If you just work 40 hours some shift,
What's with this guy and bending things
I know,
today?
everything's bending today. Yeah.
you have a shot. You have a shot to have shows. But I tell you, usually it escapes no one. There's a couple guys.
If I was a single man, I'm not recording anymore. I'm fucking my way to disease.
Yeah,
just
but
because you're
that
single,
only
you're going to
lasts
start
so
recording more
long.
podcasts? It's
Well,
crazy.
them, yeah, because that's those guys. Maybe they'd rather do podcasts than get laid. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not me, but
I'd
Each their
honestly
own.
rather do neither at this point. I
Not
don't
even
want to
masturbate?
podcast. I don't want to
Now
get
you're going to
laid.
fuck yourself? Yeah.
No, I don't even like to masturbate. I don't even look at myself when I masterate.
I hope not.
Who does?
I don't think most
you have
people
a mirror
do.
above your ceiling? You're like, yeah, me.
Unless you're
I disappoint myself.
I won't even look at my dick.
Yeah.
Get
Well, I
away
don't blame you.
from me. Get gross.
I've been marathoning fucking To Catch a Predator episodes on YouTube, just like for the past week. I
What
don't,
segue
Why
got you to
masturbate-
that?
Why masturbating go to catch a predator?
because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about those guys masturbating, taking pictures of themselves and sending them to. Because I would just literally just watched one before we got on here, and the guy was taking up because I was gonna say unless
You
you're
started
taking
your
a,
day. It's 10:30 in the morning. You started with To Catch a Predator.
that's
You
what I
rolled
do
out
on-
of bed. Oh, wow.
Well, here's-
He had his
Describe
Christmas
doing.
toast and a special Christmas episode of To Catch a Predator. I pictured Dave showing up at a house one day and Chris Hansen being like, "Come
Why
in,
don't you have a seat?"
we got some sweet tea. Have a seat." They always have sweet tea for the people.
Sweet tea.
Did you bring condoms and
Right.
Funyuns?
I wasn't gonna. I was just here to talk to her. Just the fact that I have a shotgun and a rope and a shovel in the trunk doesn't mean anything.
It's just coincidental.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the fucking. It's ridiculous. No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you about the Predator thing. This is what I've been doing since I quit Facebook and all socials. When I go on the shit, I go on YouTube. That's what that YouTube has basically taken over what used to be my social media time. So now I go on, and I've been bouncing around. I was watching documentaries about musicians and stuff, and about serial killers, and just bouncing around. And you know how it is on YouTube. One thing leads to another. Somehow, eventually, I stumbled upon one episode of Predator, and that's just been my kick the last 2 weeks. That's all it is. So
Just because we watched Predator a couple of episodes ago doesn't mean you jump right to catch a predator.
literally Predator.
Dave's like, how do you catch a predator? And then Chris Hansen shows up.
You need an
You know
alien.
what?
Hey, that would be a good spoof in our movie, To Catch a Predator, and it's Arnold, and he catches the actual predator coming to see a young girl.
I feel like this has either come up on the show before or it's been done before. I feel like we've had this discussion.
Yeah, could you imagine that with his like dreadlocks? Like, why don't you have a seat? He sits down all
why don't you
angry.
take your mask off? Take your mask off and have a seat.
You're right.
You are one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, Chris Hansen, you're one ugly.
See, it writes itself again. Wow.
Again.
And it should be
Nothing
an alien.
writes itself.
Well, we write it as we go. Is that better? We can just spitfire, fucking boom, boom, boom. If you only had the money to make that kind of movie.
Is that show still on, To Catch a Predator? Is that still airing?
Chris Hansen does YouTube stuff now. It's the show itself is not on.
Yeah, there's different in incarnations of it. There's the original To Catch a Predator. Then there was Hansen Files or something else.
Yeah.
There's different things that have been on. Maybe it's not called Hansen Files.
He still
Fucking
does
is.
stuff in the vicinity of Catch a Predator, but it's more like independently produced now. And he like interviews. He tries to interview like YouTubers who get caught like sexting underage girls and stuff like that, and give them a chance to clear their name, but it usually just like backfires and stuff. But
damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of YouTubers who are vigilante catching a predator. You know what I mean?
That
They're going
I've
out
seen.
there.
And that's
They're going out there and like, but it's the ethics of it's kind of weird because like whenever the Catch a Predator thing was on, they had to follow certain guidelines. They couldn't, entrap people and stuff. But these YouTubers, like, obviously aren't working with police and don't have these guidelines, so it's really questionable whether it's ethically right what they're doing. But
It gets hits.
how long before you think you see Jeremy on one of those episodes?
Jeremy does not have the balls to talk to a girl, let alone an underage girl.
That's true. Not even an underage one.
Right.
Well, watch out, boys.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Fuck
we're
me.
starting early.
Let me ask you, JP, did you guys do a poll for your Christmas show? And then have results come in?
we changed it up. So because the Halloween one, Moods and Dave and myself are, I don't know, like Slugs almost made it through, and we're like, Slugs? I mean, it's not really even a Halloween anything.
You're running out of options, man.
We are, but there's still stuff that's out there that like people just don't know, like Midnight Hour and stuff that hasn't been put through that's actually a legitimately good movie. So this year what we did was I picked 3 films, Moods picked 3 films, Dave picked 3 films, and Jeremy picked 3 films, and then we just had them vote on the 12 films. So it was like Calvaire, Silent Night, Bloody Night, and Elves.
Oh, Elves. Did it finally make it?
It
JP
did.
loves Elves.
I love Elves.
And
Elves
so
from way back. I'm thinking of The Elf. Elves is from like way back when, in
Elves
like
is the one from
1988 or something like that,
80s
right?
Elves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and
trying to
it's
get that on from
it has Nazis, it has incest, it has Dan Haggerty
And
smoking a
Chris-
box
what?
of cigarettes.
And Chris Hansen.
Yeah. I would say it's so bad it's good. It's one of the few so bad it's good that works. Because we did it on Banana Laser years ago.
Yeah.
It was the first time I'd seen it. I just laughed at it. Mostly it was ridiculous. First of all, it's called Elves, and there's only one elf in the fucking... Yeah, right. And it fires a gun at one point. An elf fires a gun. It's so small. The gun's almost as big as it is. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well,
But
it was one of those things where I went to the like YouTube and was just searching movies one night late at night, and like the first scene is this little dude who this little kid brother who's watching his sister in the shower, and he's like, "You got big tits, and I want to fucking see them." And I'm like, "This is a win."
Wait, this is Elves?
Yeah.
Brandon's got it on his YouTube roster ready to go.
I know what I'm watching tonight. What last night in Soho? Elves.
That was a big thing in the 80s too, man. With like the younger kid or even the younger brother complimenting the older teenager's body. Like, remember the kid did it in fucking, he does it in Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
About his
There's
tatas.
Funhouse?
No, Funhouse,
Funhouse.
right? See? And there was another one too. And it was a thing.
I always
They
wish
didn't
I had
care.
an older sister.
on, Brandon.
I take a younger sister at this point.
I'll tell you what.
Not Chris Hansen young.
Why don't you have a seat, Brandon?
Pour yourself
I'll tell you,
some
that
shit.
girl that they get to play, there's this one girl, she's like 19 years old, and she plays the younger girl in the fucking, and there's like 3 or 4 different ones they use, but there's one, she's like 19, I think she goes by the name of Casey. She's 19, and this is like 2009, so by now, I don't know how old she is. Man, I'd love to see, that girl is fucking stunning, beautiful.
What are
Beautiful.
you talking about? What movie?
The girl, one of the decoys in To Catch a Predator.
Oh.
Oh, come on, Dave.
Dave was masturbating to the decoys on Predator.
She's 19 years old. She's a real pretty girl.
Does she dress up as the little boy sometimes too?
No, that's the other one.
That's
There's like 4 of them.
I
This
don't-
is the one that's really pretty. When she almost looks like the girl from like the first Vacation movie. Oh, what the hell is her name? Because she was in a horror movie as well. She kind of reminded me of her. She just has a young girl looking face. She doesn't look like a child, I wouldn't say. I can see why her body would, because she's real petite. So she just walks in and goes, "Hey, how you doing? I got a hat on, and I'm gonna go over here. And your cookies are on the table. I'll be right back. I got something, a bloody Band-Aid." Whatever the fuck they say every time, they got some nonsense.
This is getting
So
really
you're attracted to
uncomfortable.
this girl that was hired because she looks like a little kid?
I know. I don't know where we're going with it.
When you see
Where
this
you
girl,
going at?
you wouldn't think no, but she doesn't look enough like a little kid. Like sometimes you do see.
She just looks enough to attract the predators.
But she doesn't look enough like a little kid.
I know. That's what I took from that sentence.
She doesn't look like a little kid at all. Like you put her next to my daughter who's 15. It's fucking like there's no comparison. She doesn't look like a
Can
little
we
kid.
switch the top? This is getting fucking. I don't know where we're going
You
here.
guys are lucky that you're Patreon only, because Dave would be canceled.
Dave would be.
But the girl, like I said, she's 19 years old, and this was 2009. I said I would like to see what she looks like now because she was a cute girl then, at the age of 19. That's what I said.
Didn't
I
you
wonder
get
what
canceled on Watsy Party for something like this?
somebody talks shit about on Wadzi Party. I'll tell you that.
Just got a notice from our Patreons from Chris Hansen, a.k.a. Scott Hansen. He says, please take a seat.
Chris, a.k.a. Scott Hansen.
I did Chris Hansen, a.k.a. Scott Hansen. But yeah, Chris,
Amazing.
a.k.a. Scott Hansen.
Awesome.
Wow.
Well,
Anyway,
in honor of
So,
that,
let me ask
we were.
you guys a question.
Sorry.
Oh,
Go
sorry,
ahead,
sorry.
Jim.
ask away.
No, go.
When is your 2021 show?
Next episode.
Next episode.
What do you mean next episode? I thought we have one more episode before we go on before we do the year end.
No. How many times do I have to tell you this?
Why wouldn't we save the year end as the last episode before we go on our break?
That's actually not a bad
All right.
idea.
Like that to me, like that's the way I would do it. Like
Because this is how we always do it. The order goes BS show first. Second show is quote unquote big show. And the third show is old school show with 2 movies. That's the way we've been doing it for months. So now the top 21, excuse me, I'm in fucking 2018. The top 21 takes the place of whatever the other big show would be. That's the big show.
I still say we switch it up.
Are you kidding me? It's going to be hard enough for me to fucking remember the movies I'm watching as is. And you're going to make me go another? I'm cramming all this time to get them in.
Are you guys finished prepping? I know Brandon's probably done.
No. I'm
not done.
I've got one more movie that I know I need to see for sure, but I want to hit 100, so I think I've got 5 more to watch.
I think I just barely hit 50. I'm just not feeling it this year, man. I don't know what it is.
That's what people who didn't watch any movies this year say, and that's okay.
Well, I asked you for recommendations, and you tell me the same shit everybody else does. I'm like, I already seen those. They're okay.
I don't know. I'll send you my list right now. I'll say all that because I made a list last night of everything that's a 7 or over.
I want 8s or over.
Well, yeah, but how do you know? Why do you trust my judgment that much? My 8 to you might be a
I
7.
don't know, because your 8s to me, your 8s are usually 8s, or at least I could see how they're.
Yeah,
8s.
you should just get Dave's list because you and Dave always have the same list.
That's not true.
That is so true. You
Dave,
guys
Dave
line
had
up.
that. What did Dave have on the '70s show? That it was like the one witch movie that nobody really cared for, but he
There you
loved it.
go. See? That was Night of the Witch, or Mark of the Witch, excuse me.
And Mark of the Witch, 6 out of 10.
And everybody was making fun of my list.
Oh, your list was terrible.
No,
That
his
was-
list was good.
My
He had
list
a lot
was-
of the
yeah.
Hammer stuff, which I did as well.
Oh, I mean, at the end of the day, I knew that was going to happen based on what we were watching.
Right.
I'm sending you a message right now, JP. This
Okay.
fucking second.
All right.
It's copy paste. These are all 7 or above. Boom. 65 of the 79 movies I watched. So it's kind of an off year in that respect. Usually I'm much better than that. But, whatever. It was still, here's the funny thing. It's still a great fucking year. It's still a great year to the point that I'm going to end up leaving 8s off my fucking list of 21 movies. That's
I expect that with the amount of movies that come out these days. Like, I don't expect that in 1970, but in 2021, like, I expect there to be like 10, 15, 28s that I didn't have on my list, because that's how it's been, you know what I mean, for the past, almost decade. So that's what I expect at this point. I don't even have like a clear cut like number one. I honestly haven't even really looked at my list, but
that's okay. That's like 2017. That's like last year, 2020. It's like 2019. Honestly, the last 5 years to me have been pretty similar.
I feel like it's interchangeable. I can interchange like the everything. Top 4 or 5.
Man, from 15 and on, I love, except I don't think 2020 or 2021 have a clear cut one, and I don't have any 10 out of 10s. The last time I gave a 10 out of 10 was probably 2019.
What was that?
It's, I don't know. I'm just guessing because usually my number one would have been
right.
Correct. If that was 2019, yes, they'd be the only one. You're right. Yeah, correct. Because what else came out that year as Midsommar that could have possibly?
Us, Dr. Sleep.
Dr.
Sleep was your number 2.
Yeah, that was a good year. That was a good year.
Yeah, it would be Midsommar, and that would be it. Yeah, you know how I know? Because I had that list for the top 200, and I know that I only had like 7 or 8 10 out of 10s for the whole decade.
I don't think
but it seemed like there was one a year from like 15 and on for me.
I don't think I've given a 10 out since 2016. 15 and 16. 16 was Invitation. And honestly, looking back at every top 10 show we've done, or every top whatever show, 15 of 15, 16 to 16, since we started these in 2015, 2016 is the only year where I've put the number 1 film that I would still have number 1 today.
I think I would have a couple for sure. Hereditary? Was Hereditary your number 1? Did you give that a 10?
No, it was only I was the only one that had a number 1 because it was Suspiria for Dave, I believe, and then Hereditary, I believe.
Right, 100% right. Yep.
And Brandon, didn't have it high.
Mine was Monsters that year.
But I had it as my number
Does
1.
anybody? I don't even remember that movie really.
And the year before it was The Babysitter, so he always has different ones.
Babysitter.
Yeah, he does always have
I
bad
See
ones.
You.
No, but we've talked about this before too. But they're always good movies because I remember I hadn't even seen I See You, and then when I watched it, I'm like, oh fuck, that was great.
Oh yeah, that's one that my aunt kept telling me to watch. I still never got around to that.
Your aunt's got good taste. We should have had her on the show this morning.
What the hell's
She
with my
passed
frozen
away.
screen here? Oh, she passed away.
She
a couple months ago.
Shit. Sorry to hear
Way to
that.
go, Brandon.
Yeah.
Fuck. Open up that
Brandon.
wound right on the fucking air.
What can we talk about that's depressing on
Okay, here's something, B. Even though you didn't give a 10 out of 10, like since 2016, you could probably acknowledge that movies like Hereditary and others like that are going to stand the test of time and are highly regarded as like classics. Well, like this year and last year, I don't know if we have that kind of movie. I mean, my number one last year was Dark and the Wicked.
Well, what's even the best movie that people are saying is the best, right? Like not necessarily you guys is best, but there's usually like Us is like everybody's best. Get Out, Hereditary. Like I don't even know what people think is the best this year. Like in
it's
general,
going to be random.
Terms.
I think it's going to be random year. I'd say that Night House. A lot of people like Last Night in Soho seems to be getting a lot of buzz.
Titan's getting a lot of love.
Titan, yeah.
Censor's getting a lot of love.
Censor's
it's the
getting
year
a lot of overlove.
Year of the female serial killer, which is fantastic because I've liked them all.
Yes.
I've liked them all. It's just
Except
upsetting for another way.
I watched Censor the other night, and I really liked the first section of it, like the whole video nasty, like the actual them censoring the movies and like that whole concept. But I don't know, I just kind of fell a little flat for me in the third act.
I agree. I'm right with you on that. Wow.
I still enjoyed it really enjoyed it.
No,
overall,
it's still a good movie.
Yeah. Which one did you like, Dave? I want to know which one you didn't like.
No, you didn't like about a female killer because I was the only one that liked it when we did that show. You said you liked it.
I Blame Society.
Correct.
Oh,
I love the female killer.
Dreadful. Yeah.
You see that movie, JP? I believe.
If that's
No,
your
I
number
haven't seen
one,
that one.
if that's your number one, Dave, I'm retiring after that episode.
Yeah.
It's my number one.
You'll be fighting a couple of guest hosts to round out the next 300 shows.
I'd rather see Halloween Kills as your number one over I Blame Society.
Well, what is it?
It's weird. I feel like because I haven't really listened to much podcasts, I don't really know what people are talking about. Whereas the past, since 2015, 14, around when you guys started, like I'd always kept my finger on the pulse of like what's going on, but I really have no clue like what's hot and not.
I think
this year.
Soho, Titan, Night House, Saint Maud are really the big ones.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Been a
Saint Maud.
while.
That came out so
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
it also
three-
came out last year for a lot of people. Some people have it on last year's list, so it won't
Mhm.
even be on this year's. But I think it officially became widely available this year.
Yeah.
us. We even did it on Summer Series because it actually came out 2019 in its
For
native country.
England, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so did the Columnist, and that
Killer
got officially
Female.
released this year as well.
Well, I'm
It was
seeing
like a
the
slow-
Empty Man on a lot of people's lists, but that came out last year.
Which is?
Yeah.
The Empty Man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Empty Man is
early
showing up
days.
on every list this year, and it was
Because
definitely
people didn't-
I saw it in the
available last year.
theater
They
last
dragged
year.
their
It
feet.
got
right.
because what happened was nobody saw it, and then people were talking about it because it's a great movie. I didn't see it till this year either,
JP
but I knew it
hated
was
it.
last year.
I hated it.
I don't understand how you
Wow.
hate that movie. It's a
I
fantastic.
went-
It's
I-
fantastic.
I literally said that it was the worst theatrical experience I've had.
I remember. That's why I
Wow.
never watched it. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I just thought it was disjointed.
right. But
It was a
wasn't
mess. The
she-
first 30 minutes was one movie. Then there's like a slasher scene out of nowhere, and then the whole end. I was just like, "What? None of this makes any sense. Why are they even doing this?" And that's all I remember. But I don't know. I as many people I respect, a lot of people are saying that it's great. So it makes me want to give it a second view, Dave. But at the same time, the runtime just isn't worth it to me.
It lo-
That
It's like
is
2.5
a fucking
hours.
long ass movie. It's not a movie that you expect to have that running time for sure. But
Yeah.
I
See,
agree,
that's
Brandon.
why I
It's
didn't
great.
watch it. For
Yeah,
two
the-
reasons I didn't watch it. Number one, because the first review I heard was JP and Carly, and they fucking hate it. Especially
I think we
JP.
were like the only people that reviewed it on the internet for a while, because like even that show
Yeah.
did like amazing numbers.
If JP and Carly hate a movie, I usually add it to the checkout right away list. I mean, that's how I am, because I know our tastes just don't align, with the exception of Us. Us was my number 2, it was JP's number 1. Jordan Peele can't do any wrong for me.
Yeah.
But,
I align with them a lot. See, that's the thing, is that I know who I align with too. So when they said they didn't like it, and then I heard that the time was whatever, how long it was, and then everything got quiet. Nobody said shit. Then all of a sudden it showed up on streaming services early
HBO
this year.
Max.
Everybody's blowing it. I'm like, wait a minute. And then
Right.
this guy, this everyone's talking about this movie. I'm like, well, shit. Maybe JP and Carly were wrong. Maybe I should watch it, but I still
I
haven't
even
gotten
felt that. I was like, maybe I was wrong. I gave it I think a 3 out of 10.
oh,
Yeah, he hated
3
it.
out of 10.
Yeah, like
Wow,
I
that's
literally
hate.
hated it. It was the worst
Right.
movie I saw last year.
You
almost.
don't watch enough movies if you're giving that a 3 out of 10. Even if you
But
don't
he
like
does.
it. Even if
Dude,
you don't
it
like
was
it.
painful. It was
I think it
painful
was-
though.
The
I was
theater
miserable. If I walked out of movies, that is one I would have walked out of. But I don't walk out of.
That's
movies.
what I was like in Malignant, and I'm in the minority there. People
Shit, I
loves
love
that fucking movie.
Yeah.
That is not. I'll tell you. Spoiler: it's not even close to being on my top 21 list of this
Top
year.
21. I've watched 286 films this year. It's not even in my top 200, probably.
I love
Seriously?
this man. I
It's such a
love
fun
this man.
movie.
That's the most overrated movie of the year.
I am
See,
going to
I
juggle
miss
your
all-
balls
I-
when I meet you in person.
I thought it was one of the. In terms of
Malignant
James
effect.
Wan's filmography, I thought it was so different from everything he did. It was just so cool.
Yeah,
People
he
love
did
it.
stuff.
People, I love
Dave
reading
Parker
comments like
loved
this. I got to stop myself because when I have to edit this and I listen back, I'm like, fuck, I'm a prick. But
Yeah.
you know, when you like, social media has created a lot of of me just lashing out and being but I'm the prick because I'm responding to it. But when people put like best Giallo in a a come on,
It's not a. I don't. That's
I know,
one comparison
like,
I
fuck,
don't like.
come on.
It's
I
not a
don't-
Giallo. Giallo.
I'm seeing this comment left, right, and center. Okay, maybe 3 times. Left.
It's
right,
more
center.
Heavenlotter than anything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's. It
They call it
literally
Giallo
is.
because it has
I get it.
hooded figure. It has some aspects that feel
Black
Giallo
glove
and it's
killer.
stylized
Phone
at
calls,
times. Yeah, but it's not
black
a Giallo.
gloves. There
Yeah.
are some So, and there's a chase or two that are kind of reminiscent of a Giallo thing, especially involving policemen. So I do understand why
the pacing is totally off, just like a Giallo.
I don't think he's totally off. The second view, I picked up more on things than I did the first time.
Like maybe inspired by Giallo films, sure, but like people that are out there calling it a Giallo, I'm like, what the? Do you guys watch actual Giallos? Because it's nothing like that.
The same people who call Willy Wonka a horror movie.
Well, hold on now.
Or Halloween Kills good.
It has a horror scene in it for sure.
Dude, it has more than a horror scene. Hold on. Willy Wonka is my top 20 fucking movies ever, period. I love Willy Wonka.
So do I.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. If you took that movie and marketed it.
It's a good movie.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
I love it.
You
I love it. It's also a top
movie.
film for me, but it's not.
Dude, if you cut a trailer when that movie dropped in
Have you seen, they've done that. They've cut a horror trailer of Willy Wonka and it looks like a horror movie.
But if you saw that when it first came out in like 71, whatever year it dropped, and that's the way it was advertised, and you went to the movies, you would feel it was a horror. They fucking kill kids. 4 or 5 kids in a row get killed. Granted, we don't.
Willy Wonka at the end says all these kids will go back to their nasty, rotten lives.
Themselves. I know what he says, but still, can you really trust him after? I'm just saying it could be marketed
that way.
It's
his top 21 of all time. Brandon, who are you to judge?
Hey.
I love that movie so much. I hate musicals, and I always forget it's a musical. You know what I mean? Because it plays so good that you don't even realize it's a musical.
I love musicals.
I know you do.
Fucking love musicals.
This is the kind of musical I love.
I'm in
That's
heaven.
cool.
Like Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka, those are my kind of musicals.
Wizard of Oz, yeah, I agree. The only real musical that I like because my dad was a huge musical fan, is Singing in the Rain, and probably because of the sort of in-joke Hollywood-esque sort of plot or setting. I love that one, and of course the ones you guys mentioned. I forgot Willy Wonka even has the musical numbers in it, to be honest.
Yeah, because it just plays like a regular movie that and that's, to me, my biggest problem with musicals is they take me out of it because they draw so much attention to the fact that it's a musical number, whereas like Willy Wonka and Wizard of Oz, it just feels part of the story, part of the movie. So that's why I always prefer like that kind. I like Cry Baby, the Waters
John
movie.
Waters, yeah.
Well,
I mean, again, because that's like kind of like a nod back to it,
right?
But Anna and the Apocalypse and Stage Fright are 2 modern horror musicals that are fucking great. I think those are fantastic.
They are good. Yeah, I like them.
I know the silence on JP's part there, so he's not a fan.
No, I don't like. I haven't seen Stage Fright, but I'm not a big fan of
what?
Anna.
Oh, you got to see Stage Fright. It's fucking straight up slasher shit. It's good stuff.
Like it. He's got terrible taste in movies.
No, I think he'd like it.
No, he wants a new Leprechaun movie.
I do.
With Warwick Davis?
No, I'll even take the last guy. He was pretty good.
Yeah, didn't you review that on purpose?
One of the best ones is Origins, and nobody likes that one. It's fucking actually the best real movie out of the bunch.
Up.
It's the only real movie out of them.
It's
the
so
rest of them are
boring.
fucking larks.
Oh man.
You
Christian reviewed Leprechaun Returns because I was blowing it.
No, I was supposed to be. I thought I picked Leprechaun Returns, and I got Leprechaun Origins, and then I enjoyed it.
For what?
Then you got
for
Returns.
Chasmus?
This was a year or two ago. This is almost 2 years ago.
Chasmus.
He was just on Chasmus. I listened to the other day, and I'll tell you what, they were doing that trivia, and I sent you the message, but I'm telling you, as soon as he said, I like to turn all songs into, dirty fucking sex songs, and I sang out loud to myself, silver balls, and he did it at the same time on the show. Our mind went to the same fucking thing. And dude, I got all those questions. The only questions I got right are the ones you said I was going to get right. I knew the old man. I knew the guy's name was the old man. Nobody knew that in fucking Christmas Story. I've always known that.
Yeah.
Here's what I did know. Jimmy Durante. You said I would know that old-timey guy, and I did. Don't you remember? Jimmy Durante. Now, I may not have done it on this podcast. I know for a fact I did it on Banana Laser. But I always said that when Annie gets killed on Halloween 78, she looks like Jimmy Durante. And I called her Annie Durante. So I know I've talked about Jimmy Durante on podcasts before.
Look at Brendan's face. That's what's making me...
What the fuck are you talking about? When
Watch that.
Who killed her? Daddy Warbucks?
No, dude. Watch the way her fucking face looks. She makes it a horrible looking fucking face.
She does
And
make a horrible face.
It looks like Jimmy Durante.
I never thought Jimmy Durante.
That's all I've ever thought.
Frosty the Snowman. Jimmy Durante. Anyway, I knew you'd get that one. I knew you'd get them.
I got that one. There was a couple. I forgot what else they asked you, but there was a couple I knew that nobody else knew, but all the obvious ones I didn't know. It's like if I would have been on that show, some of the questions they were asking, no clue. I haven't seen fucking Die Hard. I haven't seen the fucking Grinch.
I've seen Die Hard a ton of times. Yeah, I know it's crazy, JP, but I've seen it a shit ton of times. I just watch it because of Christmas, and that's the other thing. I said it last show too. That pisses me off too. People are like, "Oh, you're not being edgy if you say Die Hard's a fucking Christmas movie." No one's being edgy. It's fucking an action movie that takes place at Christmas time. Why can't I watch
a Christmas goddamn party?
I watch Christmas. I watch Die Hard. I watch Die Hard 2. I watch Lethal Weapon because they're fucking Christmas movies. Because they're action movies that take place at Christmas time. You motherfucker!
I just watched Die Hard on 4K. Great movie.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Die Hard 2 4K looks amazing. I didn't notice the difference as much in Die Hard. I thought it looked good, but Die Hard 2 looked crisp.
Die Hard 3 is 4,000.
Is Vengeance on 4K? I like Vengeance, dude.
It might be streaming because it's on Disney Plus. All of them are on Disney Plus, and they've upped their game. Like most of them, if it's available in 4K, they have 4K streaming for it.
Right? Yeah, that's
they're solid. Yep, they can do it. Netflix can do it. Prime can do it.
Shudder can't do it.
And Tubi's still in 720.
I feel like I'm getting like 720.
Tubi's still in VHS.
But
don't kid yourself. Shudder's not much better.
I love Tubi. I fucking love Tubi.
I love Tubi too.
I love it, but man, the picture quality.
Oh yeah,
is fucking atrocious.
It's like CED.
But what do you want for free, man?
Oh, I don't care. I love it. There's so much good stuff on there. If you just
there's stuff that is on nothing else. It's nowhere at any other streaming service.
Agreed. Yeah, there is.
Yep. Found footage, man. Tons of
found footage is good their bread and butter.
And their algorithm's so good. Like if you watch something, like it'll show you like all these other movies that are kind of related, and you're like, damn, this is actually a good algorithm.
Everything's
it recommends me shit I want.
Everything's horror. They recommend me, even in the comedy. It's like horror. I'm like, this is awesome. Something completely different, more horror. I'm like, this is awesome. Everything is horror.
Damn. Well, I just got Disney back, so I'm happy about it. I talked to my friend, and I got that. And
Boba Fett starts today.
Boba Fett's today.
All episodes are today. Yeah.
It's a show. Whoa.
Yeah, the new book of Boba Fett or whatever.
Boba Fett's a show. Disney
Bubble Boba.
Oh, I thought it was the movie. I thought it was the new movie coming out.
No.
Is there a new movie coming out?
No.
Well, it was supposed to be a movie. I think they scrapped it when that Han Solo one didn't do so well, and now it's a show.
I saw the commercial during football last week, and they made it look like it was a movie. Like at first I thought it was The Mandalorian the way it looked. I'm like, oh, what's this? The next season of Mandalorian? Then at the end it said Star Wars, the Trials of Boba Fett.
Whatever.
Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett from the Book of Spiral.
The Book of Fett.
So which book is better, the Book of Mormon or the Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Boba Fett by
It seems like the Disney is going the TV show route for Star Wars stuff, like more often. I think that's kind of the play, because I think Mandalorian just did so well.
And it did. And it's
did you watch Mandalorian, Dave?
Of course, I love it. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you did you watch that, JP?
I watched first couple episodes. I'm like one of those people where like I'll watch the first couple episodes. If I like it, I'll be like, all right, I'll wait till it's all done and then I'll binge it. Except for Dexter, like I've been watching New Blood like every week.
New Blood is fantastic.
It's been done for 2 years, JP. You haven't finished it. Fucking
yeah, but isn't there another season coming?
He means
Mandalorian is 2 seasons. They're both done. They're both.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for it to be done.
He wants the show to be done. He means like if it runs like 5 seasons, like that's all 5 done.
That's
yeah, I've been watching Yellow Jackets and
Yellow
New
Jackets
Blood.
Is fantastic.
I'm only 2 episodes into Yellow Jacket, 3 episodes in, but it's good, really good.
It's good. I'm 6 episodes in on that. It's really good. It's already been picked up for season 2. What I didn't realize about Dexter though is it's 10 episodes this season and it's a limited series.
Yeah, so I think it's done. This is it, right?
They say that, it's not.
It's not going to be. It was a huge hit. They'll bring it back unless Dexter dies at the end of this.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know
It's
how
coming back.
I don't know how they wrote it, so we don't know.
Right, yeah.
But they did say it's supposed to be a one-off, but it's been fantastic.
It was so refreshing to see them right the wrongs of like the last 4 seasons, because this feels like classic good, like what you want out of Dexter. So for me, like it's been very refreshing, because I was so I named my dog Dexter. It was the first like big show that I got into like super hardcore, and it was so disappointing by the end of the original run that I'm happy that they were able to like sort of do something to right that
6,
wrong.
7, and 8 were all disappointments. I didn't mind 5. 4, of course, is the classic.
5 was good. 4 is the best. 4 is one of the best seasons of any television show, period.
Yeah. I mean, I liked 1 and 2. 3 kind of dipped. I'm not going to go into detail, Dave, because of
Jimmy
Smith.
Smith.
Haven't seen it. And then 4 was the best, and then 5 I thought was a decent follow-up. Then it just kind of went, boo.
Yeah, 4, 1, 2, 5, 3, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, like whatever the last season was so messy. And I'm not even just talking about the end. Everybody harps on the end, and I won't spoil anything, but I didn't mind the end. It was just the whole season was just a choppy mess.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't watch it.
It was very odd. Very odd.
Yeah.
But just breaking news here, guys. Canada ranked number 1 country in the world. 2000.
By who? Canadians?
And what, COVID rates?
Yeah, prick bastard.
We got the most vaccinated and the most cases. Woohoo! I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about it.
Breaking news.
Sad state for the world.
What? Who said what?
Sad state for the world after this announcement.
Good old Canada.
We piss on you. Neighbors to the south. I'm kidding.
Did you watch Christian? Do you watch South Park?
I used to. I used to be way more into it. It's funny. It's gotten huge. It's huge again, or it's still, and I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, well, the specials they had a grown up
COVID
Ike
special.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I haven't.
Grown up Ike is the best. He's only in it for like a couple minutes, but it's like so like Canadian. Yeah, like and his head's all flappy like Christian's too. It's funny.
Like
they're doing like 17 specials. They signed a huge contract.
Like they signed some huge contract. With Paramount Plus or whatever.
Hundreds of millions of dollars to do like 17 specials. And
they already cleaned up way back when with that.
Oh
show.
yeah, no, I mean they got like if they're worth like $500 million, they got like another $500 million. It's something insane.
That's
great. Yeah, that show's longevity is like insane.
It's awesome. Yeah, I gotta watch
Simpsons, man. The Simpsons started. I was in fucking grade 9.
Yeah, it was made like 2 years before I was born.
Chris, you're old.
Yeah. 2 years before JP was born. Who let him on the show?
Wow.
It's like when Carly comes on, I realize that she's like, I think 6 years older than my daughter.
Yeah, she's 6 years younger than me.
That's crazy.
He invited himself on. Let me join.
He's allowed to though. Yeah, but 22 shots all have a pass. They're the only ones that have a pass. Okay.
I was like kind of joking, but
who gave Watson his pass? That's what I want to know.
And Watson. Anybody
I give Watson the pass now.
Or have co-host.
Yeah, then I'll pass on Watson.
He'll be here next show. Watson will be here.
This poor
guy, he doesn't even give a shit. He's gonna wake up at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning probably, to get ready to come on our year-end show when we do it. That's how much he enjoys doing the year-end show. He's gonna fucking think about
year-end show is my favorite show, and then we're gonna follow up the following week with a really boring 2-movie show.
Yeah. How about we pick any 2 movies we want? How about we talk about the fucking Monster Squad for you?
How about our favorites of 2021?
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Now I've crammed this entire I watched 5 fucking movies yesterday.
I'm gonna start cramming after I get off of here. Like I was about to watch VHS 94, but then I was like, oh, I'll do this instead.
Well, you'll probably like it, but it's complete hot dog shit.
I don't think I'm gonna like it because everybody I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna like it. Just based on the people that I've heard talk about it.
You'll like it, dude. You might not like one of the things, but I'll tell you this: it's not as good as the first 2. It's leaps and bounds better than the fucking third one. It's a serviceable fucking anthology. It's fine. Just enjoy it.
How was Horror Noir? Did anybody watch that anthology?
Horror Noir
heard it
was
wasn't good.
pretty bad, but it was still slightly better than VHS 94.
Dude,
But it was bad.
the runtime on that was like 2+ hours. I was like,
It's
God
terrible.
damn it!
It's terrible. It's pretty terrible, to be
What,
honest.
what about the Advent Calendar? Did you guys watch that one?
Oh,
Oh,
we did a
dude.
review of it.
I liked it. You didn't
I
like
liked it too.
Didn't make sense.
It was cool.
Brandon didn't like it. I thought you liked it, Dave.
Well, I gave it 7 out of 10, but every time I think about it, I think about how much it didn't make any sense, and it kind of bothers me.
We had
It
a
was
bit of an
not
argument.
perfect.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of cool. It was
Great
I don't know.
People were
concept.
loving it though. People are.
What about the what is it called? My Heart Beats When You Tell It To, or something like
My
that.
I
heart
saw that
can't
one.
beat unless you
Yep.
tell it to.
I really
I
like
enjoyed
that.
I enjoyed it, but the second time I watched it, I have to admit it came
Stop
down.
watching these type of movies twice.
I have to.
Yeah,
It's
he's
what's
the
gonna
only one
make
that
my-
watches them twice. Nobody else that does like a top 10 of the year. Oh yeah, these two.
Thank
But
you.
any other reviewer in the world just watches a movie and then will make their top 10 list.
That's
I
what I
watched
do.
I watched like 27 movies twice already. I've
Dude,
even
that's
watched
crazy.
I've
Like,
even
I
watched
don't
a
even
couple
have.
3 times.
That's insane.
That's what I did, too.
I can't even imagine if someone was like, "Hey, all those 27 movies you watched over the year, you got to watch them again." I'll be so bummed. I'll be walking around all day.
It's my
bummed out,
favorite
like,
show to do.
Man, I can't believe I got to
Yeah.
watch all these again. This is gonna
It's
suck.
exciting.
It's my favorite show to do every year. It's the only
Mine
show
too.
I look forward to doing
I
every year.
love the top 10. Like, why do you think we do 2 extra ones every year? Because we love doing
Yeah,
top
man.
10 shows so much.
I
but-
love doing top 10 shows so much that we made it a top 21. So I get to do 2 and a 10.
How about that?
Top 10s.
Yeah.
2 and a
Doing-
10th.
2 and a 10. It is 2 and a 10.
Oh
2
my
and a
God.
10th.
We said we were gonna. If you remember when we came up with this idea, we said
You said
once
you were
we
gonna
hit
stop at
2020. Yes, thank you, JP. We said we stop at 20. Nope, we're doing 21 this
You
year.
know what? I
That was what
honestly,
I wanted to do.
I wanted to do it also, but don't you feel like I mean, look, I don't know how long we're gonna go for, but even if we went like another 4 seasons,
Season.
God, please,
Fucking
no.
season.
25.
No. The top 25 still doesn't sound right. After 25, it's ridiculous. You can't do
Listen.
a top 26.
Even if I retired, I would come back every year and do a top 10 show.
Oh,
Like,
how much
just
you
because
collect
it's
from your
it-
401k when you retire?
what's that? Oh, shut up. But like I'm saying, even if I stopped podcasting, I would still come either guest on someone's top 10 show that's still around, or I would come back and do one, just because I feel like I put so much time into watching all the new stuff anyway that it's like a waste if I don't like do a list.
Put a lot of time in that
when you
49
get the
movies you
top
watched.
50, when you guys get to the top 50, it's going
It'll
to
be
be a
one
longer
movie
show.
I could
How
do
many of you
almost a
watched
top
this year?
50.
JP, you said you were just shy of 50, or you're
I
just
think
at
I
50.
just got 50, but I think
Okay.
we're
Still-
doing the show in
Cute.
about a week. I'm going to try to get like 25 in by then to end up at like 75.
That's cute.
Brandon,
remember-
how many of you watched?
Nah, listen, I'm saying it now. Next year,
Shut up.
Fuck
A
off. He says
third
it every year.
a third of what I've watched. Next year, I'm going back to 100, 125 new movies tops. This year, 286. But that's it.
Fucking.
And I
That's
haven't watched
insane.
any in the last. I've
But
watched-
it's
That's
all
like
for
Mark
nothing.
Nato.
You didn't beat. Yeah, you didn't beat Mark
That's as
Nato.
bad as Mark Nato.
Yeah,
He's
you,
right.
you didn't.
No,
You didn't beat
I-
him. So it was all
No,
for nothing.
No, I can't beat. I don't want to beat him. I've watched 286 movies that I genuinely wanted to watch,
That's not true.
except for one movie, which I watched because I heard it was so bad, and I watched it, and it was I gave it a 1 out of 10, but honestly, it's a 0 out of 10. But I had to
Human
watch it.
Hibachi.
No,
Oh.
Dreamcatcher on Hulu.
I really want to see Human
They never
Hibachi.
even heard of that.
Unbelievable.
That's on JP. I hear that. It's actually a few. Mark Nato's put that on his top 10, and a few other people are talking about. Scott Crawford really likes it. Human Hibachi. It's flying under the radar, but people are really
Oh,
talking
Scott.
about it.
He's kidding. He's trying to get
Oh,
you to watch it.
Yeah, I was sitting here. You couldn't see my face, but my eyes were all. I was like squinting. I was like, "Are you tripping?" I feel like you're setting me up.
Human Hibachi. Did you watch Human Zoo?
That was last year. Fucking dreadful.
Plus,
I mean,
you said
it
Mark
was
Nato
like
and
I could
Scott
film it in his
Crawford. That's not
basement.
good.
You look like you just
Just
needed
they
a
love
steel
it.
block cell, and you just film people going, why am I in here? What is this place? Let me out of here! And then 2 hours of that, and then done, edited together. It was horrible.
What's that
The
now?
Human Zoo. The Human Zoo last
the
year.
Human Zoo.
That was my
I would never watch.
worst movie of last year.
I would never watch.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a Dave Z title that he's gonna check out.
No, Human Zoo.
Human
Unless I
Zoo.
hear great things about it, it's just not.
Yeah.
I can't seek
Why
that
don't
out.
you be the one to discover the great film? I want Dave
Huh?
to discover the great
I do. You don't think I've ever brought surprises to the show on the year ends?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, you definitely have, and also like even
Has he, Christian?
Hold on, let's go back and look at all these years. Now you're gonna get me fucking.
Now I'm getting them all riled up.
While you're looking that up, we wanted to bring back a segment, and it's fitting that you're here, JP. It's called Undead Mail. And what we've decided
Oh, I got my Fangos right here.
Yeah, he's got. But I said, fuck Fango. We're going to start using Rue Morgue. The Canadian contingent. Flappy, flappy, flappy. There's my flappy head again, you prick. And we're going to do it. It's a brand new episode that we've created.
segment.
Thank you so much. And we're going to start here. We should call it Postmortem, since that's the name of their mail. We'll call it Postmortem Radio.
Yeah, you guys should. I was thinking, like, maybe you guys should do like a Rue Morgue fact or something. You know, sometimes they'll have these like the corner report.
Yeah,
weird stats and morbid facts.
Toe
yes,
tags.
weird stats and morbid facts.
Yeah.
Bring it up. Except ours is going to be called Weird Facts and Morbid Stats. How's that?
Yeah.
That good? See? But by the time he finds a fact, it'll be fucking 20.
Dude, this is worse than Dave's Fangos. What are you doing?
Oh, I didn't know you were waiting for me. I was sure. I'm not going to fucking do it.
What are you, jerking off? What are you doing?
I'm jerking
okay.
off. Oh, you want me to read? I'll read one. I am yet okay, hold on 1 second here. I've got to tell you. I got to tell you guys, my
Get your
eyesight
readers out. Get
for
your
small.
fucking
I
readers
know.
out.
I need readers. I think I need to go get readers.
It
These eyes have gone fucking bonkers on me.
As soon as you hit 40, it's done with the
Look
eyes.
at this.
Done.
Well, everybody said that 40. It wasn't for me. I'd say 45 was the turning point for me.
Me too.
Uh-oh.
Me too.
Yeah,
Damn, you're old, dude.
I'm still okay at almost 42, but
But they say in the 40s, that's boom. It's almost expected. You're going to need fucking cheaters.
Great.
Yep.
I'm yet another fan writing to slobber over the quality of your mag. I've been a horror junkie for over 40 years, since my mom took me to see Psycho when I was 8. This guy's really old.
Yeah,
You've introduced me to some great films that I wouldn't have checked out
9 years old.
had it not been for your review. Ginger Snaps, for example. But the Gold Rush came, your best of 2003 issue. This is an old magazine, obviously. And your praise for Ju-on, The Grudge.
Yeah.
It's unquestionably the scariest movie I've seen in decades, all the more impressive for being so frightening with a minimal amount of violence. No sex, not that I mind either of them, and complete lack of the Western world's horror cliches, excuse me. I've watched the others in the series and have found them also extremely creative and startling. How often can you say that about a sequel, let alone a handful of them? Your last issue's coverage of the movie was perfect. That guy was from Arizona. So, hey.
There you go.
He's probably buried in the desert today.
Okay, B, here we go.
Undead
I'm
Mail.
looking at
Dave, I was just teasing you.
2015.
You know I was teasing you, though. Like, I want to hear this, but you know I was teasing. Like, I
You did
want that
better
to be
than
said.
Jeremy.
I want that to be said, because I was
And I
just
couldn't even
joking
read.
with you. Like, it was just
Okay.
like a jab.
Yeah,
at
neither can
I
he.
still want to bring it.
No, I still want to hear it. I'm just saying. It was just a joke.
Oh, my
I'm
God,
not
my
even
eyes.
sure how much. Like, okay, in 2015, I'm going to tell you the ones that I had that were like 8 and 7.5s that weren't in my top 10. Okay, that you may not have heard of at that time.
Human
Like,
hibachi.
okay, Pernicious, I gave an 8. Did you ever see Pernicious?
I did.
Okay,
It's on
Bound to
Tubi. It's on
Vengeance.
Tubi. It's on Tubi right now.
Nice. Bound to Vengeance, I gave
Bound
it
of
a
Vengeance made my top 10.
nice. The Harvest, Amnesiac, Suicide Theory, The Treatment,
Treatment was great.
Are we on your top 10 yet?
The Hollow. These aren't the top 10s.
I was
These are
hoping not.
movies
I
outside-
still have to see The Hollow. That's the Irish one, right?
The Treatment, that's the pedophile movie, right?
That's great.
I
Yeah.
still haven't seen The Treatment either.
Come on, Nightlife.
David pedophilia. Yeah, it's great.
That's organized on his Chris
They
Hansen
punish
show.
the fucking guy. It's like Daddy's Little Girl. Did you ever see that one?
Or
That's
Hard
on
Candy?
That's on Tubi
I haven't seen
also.
it.
Daddy's Little
Great
Girl.
movies.
On
Great
Tubi
movies.
also.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Dave, you should check out Tubi. It's got a great Chris Hansen selection.
I will. They got their own section now. Scenes. When I run out of YouTube videos, they'll just be the movie. What about Nightlife? What about all the fucking what do you call it I bring? The found footage movies that nobody hears about till I fucking bring it up on the show.
What about Landmine Goes Click?
Oh God, JP, that was the biggest dupe in history.
Hey, JP, I like that movie. I actually didn't mind that movie.
It's
I just
good.
wish it was a horror movie. No, I'm just kidding.
It's horrific.
No, I would classify it as a horror movie. I just wish you didn't honey dick us that year.
What was the top? What was the number one of that? Like, what was the big one that year?
And I don't even know. All I think of is
2015. It was 2015.
Spring. Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
2014 was It Follows, I think.
No, 2015 was It Follows also, I think.
What was your number one?
Spring.
But it should have been
A Girl Walks
Home Alone at Night.
Oh, that again.
2015 was it would be A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. I love that movie. I still
Dude,
love
that was a weird year. You guys did 2 top 10 shows. You guys came on our show and did a top 10.
We did a fucking Christmas episode for episode 2. The fucking gall. Episode 2. Welcome to our special Christmas.
We can't ignore the fucking holiday, can we?
Guess what? Episode 3, we're going even bigger. Special year-end show. Year-end. We've been
Dude, that's
recording
actually
for 2 weeks.
Honestly, that's like us though. I think our 4th episode was our Christmas show, and then like our 5th episode was top 10.
It was actually it was a fun way to start. Those first 3 shows were really quality shows. We got a lot of good stuff in those 3 shows.
You want to be timely on your top shows, too. That's why we got to do it next week, top 21. It's bad enough we're not doing it the first week.
I don't mind doing it next week. I'm just
now I got
looking forward to that week.
What day are you recording it on?
This guy, what's that?
What day are you recording?
Probably a Sunday. That's when we usually do Sunday mornings.
Sunday the 9th?
Okay.
Ours is this. We're doing ours on the 7th.
Okay.
That's a Friday. Well, Sunday's the 9th. That's what I'm just saying. Unless you meant this Sunday.
I wouldn't mind being at night. I'll tell you that right now.
This Sunday's probably not the best. It's right after, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Oh no, it's the second. Yeah.
I mean, we could do it the following. I'm down. I'm good either way. You guys, obviously, we don't have to talk about this now, but you guys make the decision. I'm ready to go.
I can do it Sunday.
I only, like I said, I only have 2 more movies to watch.
Right. Well, we'll figure that out. What the hell? What are we saying? Oh, yeah. Okay, here you go. 2016, B. All right, check it out. These are the movies that were 8s or 7.5s that weren't on that I brought up that didn't make the list. 8s. Windmill Massacre, Black Mountainside. Nobody was talking about Black Mountainside then. Now everybody does. Nobody back then was saying shit
I
about it.
still haven't heard anybody talk about it.
Oh, everybody's blowing it now. But I'm glad they are. There you go. Trash Fire. That's
a good one. I heard
Trash Fire.
I watched that one based on one of you guys' shows. Like it might have been you, Dave, that were just when you guys did like the round robins. Yeah. And I remember you talking about that. And then I watched it at work and I was really into it. It was Trash Fire, and there was another one that came out around the same time that both of them I really liked. They didn't make my list, but it
was a good film. They did a sequel this year called Spiral from the Book of Saw. That was a real trash fire.
This fucking guy. Okay.
Did you like that, JP? Did you like Spiral?
I mean, I thought it was okay. I gave it like a 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah, I think that was it. 7.5 tops. Like,
yeah,
I thought it was good.
Yeah. Same as fucking whatever.
I thought it was better than Jigsaw.
I really liked Jigsaw.
I thought it was better than the 8th
and
7th
fucking,
one.
I don't get it. Everybody blows Jigsaw and everybody blows Hellraiser Judgment, and they're not fucking all that. I'll never.
They're not. I mean, Judgment. I think the thing with us with Judgment is we were just so shocked that it wasn't horrible.
You're gonna be surprised at what I'm gonna say. I thought the best Hellraiser sequel after G was the one with the supposed fat pinhead. I watched all
the reason why is because it's an actual fucking Hellraiser movie. Like it actually follows the mythos of Hellraiser. I actually like it too.
See, there you go. What do you say, shit spinner?
Bitch, yes. Pinhead.
Oh, bitch spinner.
Even his tits had pins to them. They call me pin tits.
Which one was that?
Revelations. We're going to do it next year, and we're going to see what's going to happen for summer series.
Is that 7?
I might join Patreon for that one.
It's Revelations.
Summer Sausage. You should come on. Fuck.
Oh, man. He's inviting him back already?
I'll watch those again.
Buddy, you got to get on that Summer Sausage action. It's a good time.
Is Revelation Part 7, though? Or is that...
I don't know the fucking numbers.
Revelations would be part...
No reason to yell.
It would be part 9, I believe.
He's like, I don't know when that fucking shit is.
Who counts numbers in Hellraiser franchise?
Well, I know Hellseeker is 6. I know,
Hellworld is 8. So the next one would be 9, which is Revelations.
Do your impression of Dave when he told me not to drink wine. That's my favorite.
I told him. I don't even know what his impression.
You sound like the fucking cook in fucking Chainsaw 2. I told you, Bob.
That's where I think it reminds me of.
Dude. Me and my buddy, that's all we do is do Drayton impressions, and it's, I told you not to call me up. I call him up, I'll be like, I told you.
Dude, in Drayton really goes for it in Chainsaw 2, man. Like, he's just like, oh, like, he's just making noises all throughout the thing.
But Drayton is equally as amazing.
Absolutely underrated.
I was always a Chop Top guy, but like over the years, I've really latched on to Drayton because he's just he'll just be like in the background mumbling stuff like the entire like third act of the movie, and you're just like, this guy's nuts.
Dude, even the continuity, just in the scene where he's at where he's at the chili festival and he wins and he puts the chili in the trophy and it spills on his jacket when he's driving in the car. It's all over his jacket.
Right? Yeah.
I like that. Like they wouldn't do that today.
Uh-huh.
Must be one of them hard.
There's actually a new chainsaw coming out. I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but
yeah,
it comes out
never
next
heard of it.
January, February, I think.
February,
Netflix.
I think 9th. What happened to Brandon there? He looked frozen like he was.
Don't
about
say
to
a
blow
word. He's
somebody.
fine. Look at him now. He's just fine. Don't say a word. He's
I think it looks
he's
good, JP. I'm always up for another one. I will not until I watch the movie. I will not pass judgment. I thought the teaser for it looked good. I'm excited for it.
I didn't watch the teaser, but I was just curious. I know that it had like a rough production, so I'm kind of curious about it. But
it's very short.
What?
That's okay. Short's good.
It's short?
It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Good. Perfect.
I'm down with that.
That's what they all should
I'm
do.
down with that, but that's never usually a great sign.
I don't know. These days, I'm on board. An hour 20 is just fine. It really is.
What was oh yes,
That would
and then
be
Scream's coming out too.
Just fine.
Spring.
Scream.
Oh, Scream. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it's called Scream.
Yeah, I know. It's the fucking.
If there's one thing I hate, it's that, man. I cannot stand that, dude.
I love numbers. I know you do too.
I do, yeah. It's like the more of them there are, the more reason there is to number them.
Just don't ask him what number Revelation is. He'll jump down
Because
your
they won't
fucking throat.
Well,
I
wish you told
ask me that fucking shit.
they
I
should've-
told you once. I told you, boys. I don't know what Hellraiser Revelations is.
Look at the goddamn door.
I don't know why I turned into a preacher there, though, as well.
Right.
Anyway, I'm looking
Did you
forward
see
to
Del
Scream.
Toro's new movie?
No. what
Nightmare
movie?
Alley?
New one?
That's had some positive.
It's out right now.
Yeah, Nightmare Alley. It's in movie theaters, but
It's great.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I gave it a 9. It's not a horror. It's not a horror movie at all.
It's not.
no,
Okay.
Good.
not at all.
I don't have to see it.
And I'll wait till it comes to.
I'll wait.
Like, I even went in thinking that it was going to be like kind of a horror movie, like maybe even like Shape of Water, like with a monster, but it's not at all. But it's all set in like carnivals of the like. It's just really neat, man. It's a cool movie, and I think it's a re-adaptation because there was one from like a long time ago.
Nice, dude.
Oh.
I'll definitely get it. I'll wait till it comes home though.
It's long. It's like 2.5 hours. So.
Oh, then I'm definitely waiting until it's home. Actually, I'm not going to the theaters anymore until COVID doesn't exist. So that probably means
You ain't gonna go see Scream?
I'm not going to see anything. I'm not going anywhere. Nope.
Honestly, that's smart. I wanted to go see last night in Soho, and
It was worth it.
I even got told I want to go to the movies. I really do.
What are you afraid of?
Well, just lack of wanting to. I agree.
I was it's not.
football games.
I was
want
telling
to.
Christian before we came on the air, I personally know 7 people, close friends, family, 7 people in the last 4 weeks who have tested positive for COVID.
Yeah,
all of them
we
are
have
fine.
an outbreak right now.
Yeah, all of them are fine
I'm not
and
going nowhere.
minimal symptoms and are recovered by now, but it's crazy.
Well, if
I'm
you're
not testing
vaxxed,
it
you
to my
shouldn't
parents.
get really like. I don't think it's hard on you if you're vaccinated. I
That's
had
true.
COVID. I got
but
it
you
back
can
in
carry
April.
it. You know what I mean?
That's what my
That's the
concern.
problem.
My
I'm not
concern
worried about
lies in carrying. My concern lies in carrying too, Dave,
Correct.
because I live with my father, who has
Oh yeah,
compromised,
well,
who
if
has
you're
compromised
protecting,
health. Even
older
though he's
people.
Yeah, that's
vaccinated,
different.
I'm afraid
Yeah.
if he got sick, it could
That's
affect
my
his
number
heart,
one.
could affect his lungs. So
No,
yeah, like
exactly. You never know, and we don't know.
Yeah.
Just because he's vaccinated doesn't necessarily mean it will be milder on him. That just seems to be the trend
Yeah.
with the last couple with this last strain, but who knows, right?
No, nobody at the end of the day. I'm just again, I don't want to carry it, so I'm not going anywhere. I am going to dinner for my anniversary. It's my 10-year anniversary. I'm going out to a nice dinner and spending the night somewhere. Other than that, I may go to one more dinner for like my fucking birthday in August. I'm not going anywhere.
It's the big one. It's the big one.
It's the big one, and check it though. It's my brother and sister-in-law's 10-year anniversary as well. Is the 3rd week of July. My birthday is the 1st week of August, so we'll probably do a celebratory thing in between. Go out, get a surf and turf, a nice fucking meal at a nice restaurant. But I'm gonna bring my own silverware and shit like that. I don't fucking trust nothing.
It's August.
I don't think it like sits on silverware, does it?
What are you, Jack?
You think
Jack
COVID
Nicholson as good as it gets?
gone? I know, right? Right. You think COVID's gone by August?
No, it's gonna be here for another couple years, probably.
It's gonna be here forever.
So.
I said day one. I said,
I guess your appetite's not as big as your noses.
See, in my line of work, there's no avoiding it, man. I mean, like I'm exposed every day, probably.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, JP, I know. You gotta deal with it.
What line of work is that? Gay porn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's another
COVID on the cock. Sir, let me just wash out my foreskin. There seems to be some leftover COVID in there. You got a toothbrush?
I'll tell you.
So Nunian's got it. Nunian's ended up with COVID.
Who got it?
No,
Nunian's got it.
Nunians. I love it. Ians.
Yeah.
That's Pittsburgh.
Chill.
I love it.
No, it's Nunions and Funyuns.
Nunians.
I got Funyuns.
No wonder Alabama pisses on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
Pisses on them.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask JP a question.
Yeah.
Because while I have him and we were talking about Texas Chainsaw, I know you didn't hear our review of Chainsaw 2. So I want to ask you this. Mm-hmm. I came to the conclusion this time watching Chainsaw 2 that Chainsaw 2 is really not actually more. Now let me finish before you jump in. It's not actually more comical than Chainsaw 1. The difference is this. We spend more time with the family in Chainsaw 2. They acted the same way in Chainsaw 1. We only got like fucking 15 minutes of that. But their behavior is consistent with what it was in the 74 movie. It's just that we have so much of them throughout. So I don't think per se Chainsaw 2 is more comedy. I just think we spend more time with those characters.
I don't say this a lot to either one of my two co-hosts, but that's actually a really smart observation.
I mean, I
agree with it.
I agree too. In turn, I guess that would still make it more comedic, though.
By default, the way people talk about it,
right.
They're like, well, they want a new direction. No, they don't really go a new direction. They just have our protagonist and the antagonist on the screen more.
Yeah, I think that the big... If you're going to point out anything that's different, I think it's Leatherface's performance, because he does, like, he's like shrugging and like looking to the side when they're saying like, do you like her or something. I think that's where people get like some of the comedic beats, because he really didn't act like, he more acted like a scared child in the first one, and this one it's a little bit different. But I've never really considered it like overly comedic in the first place, so I've never really, I saw it as just like you said, you spend more time with the family and stuff, but and Chop Top isn't comedic either. He's scary. You know what I mean? Like in the record store, like he's actually pretty terrifying in that scene. And I think it helped me because I watched this movie when I was really young. So I feel like when you're really young, you don't notice, like Return of the Living Dead, I had no clue it was supposed to be a comedy like my whole life. What I mean? Like, so it takes me a while to pick up like comedic stuff growing up, and I just always found Chainsaw 2 like scary and more absurd, and I guess the absurdity of it, like the whole underground bunker and stuff, makes it more comedic in how you look at it. But it's just, I don't like a lot of horror comedies, and I never felt like Chainsaw 2 was like overly comedic in the first place. But
cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Then I know you're such a big fan of Chainsaw. Actually, Christian is kind of the same way now. It's like his favorite franchise now. It's crazy. He's come around. So
it's one of my favorites.
Franchise.
Honestly, it's a fair assessment. It is a great franchise.
Yeah, I mean, when you really think of it, Friday stands. Friday's still. I mean, I'm a Jason fan through and through, no question. But I love Leatherface. I love Psycho, and I love Evil Dead. Those franchises right there are probably the top franchises. I really enjoy the Saw franchise. Well. There's only a handful of Saw films I don't.
Paranormal Activity.
Yep.
We did that one too, and I enjoyed that as well. Other than, I mean, there's a couple of weak entries, but
Part 4.
Part 4
and
the new one.
I hate Part 4. I
like the new one. I like the new one.
I didn't see it yet.
I gave it like a 7.5. I actually really enjoyed it.
Did you watch the new documentary, Dave, that Jeremy told you to watch? Or no, you was off social media. Jeremy was trying to tell you to watch. There's on Paramount Plus. There's a documentary on the Paranormal Activity franchise that just came out with the new movie, and he wanted to watch it.
Watch it. Use Yins.
No shit, it's on Paramount.
Yeah. It's like it really didn't get much press. Like nobody really. Jeremy watched it.
I've been trying to get you back on Facebook for this exact reason. All the documentaries you're missing.
I find out secondhand. It's worth it not being there. But see, now eventually the news got to me. Which reminds me, I have a fucking email about something that made me think about the news that I haven't, that I wasn't aware of, and it has to do with my lack of social media. But I have an email and I have a message. So let me read the email here. This is from Liz Schmidt. Okay, why are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing at Christian's face. The face he's making. Like,
I don't know what's going on. I can't. I was trying to read something.
I need my readers.
Yeah, I do. I need glasses.
I saw those.
Did you listen to any of that new? I don't mean to get off of Liz Schmidt's email because we love. I will say this. There's probably four tracks in the New Jerky Boys that are absolutely fine. I re-listened to them. I think they're great.
Blowjob one is great.
The Garbos, exactly. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. That's false advertising.
The Jerky Boys.
What?
He's too young. He is too young.
He's funking. He knows what the Jerky Boys
are. The Jerky Boys?
No, he's young.
What year were you born?
91.
Yeah, 91 when it came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't aware. Like, I was probably breastfeeding at the time.
Zero. Yeah, but they're the kings of fucking prank phone calls.
He was 0. He wouldn't remember that. He was 0.
Wait, hold on.
They have a movie though that came out.
Chainsaw was 74. He was born in 91. That doesn't mean shit.
But he was negative 15 then. Negative 17.
He loved Scream. It came out when he was 5.
I watched it when I was 5, though.
I know.
That's 91. Wow.
I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, New Nightmare. That's not what it's called, but New Nightmare in the theater when it came out. And that came out in like 94.
That's fucking great.
Well, that's fucking crazy.
I saw The Lion King. My first 2 movies was The Lion King and New Nightmare. Those were my first 2 theatrical.
At that age, I would have been terrified.
I was, but I'd already seen Freddy before that.
Jesus.
Damn.
Do you have like an older brother?
No, I'm the oldest.
When I saw New Nightmare in theaters, there was this little 3-year-old Mexican who wouldn't shut up the whole fucking time.
I saw it in Florida. I was living in Florida at the time.
Yeah,
that's where I was.
Sarasota,
was it? Right? But no, I mean, when I say I've watched horror movies my whole life, I literally mean that I don't remember a point where I didn't. Whenever your first memories are, those also included horror movies.
I still remember sitting on the couch when my dad was putting The Innocents on and watching The Innocents and being scared shitless, and I just turned and stared at the wall. And every now and then I'd watch
I didn't really get scared.
Being so fucking petrified of the movie.
The 2 movies that scared me the most were Leprechaun and Blair Witch Project. Those were the 2 that got me. Leprechaun 1 scared
being
the shit
young
out.
And seeing a leprechaun like that would be freaky. I could be a little forgiving of it. It's just such a fucking piss poor movie that I don't want to slap you off the show.
No, it's not.
He's right. It's pretty piss poor.
It's not a piss poor movie. It's a good movie. I liked it when I saw it.
No, I won't. It's a.
I saw it with my high school girlfriend, and I think she broke up with me.
Well, that's your problem. You watched it in high school. You're an angry, angsty teenager sitting with your arms crossed like, this movie sucks.
I wanted to think she broke up with him. He's not sure. They might still be together.
I hope. She's on Facebook.
Are you kidding me?
I never went to the movies wanting to hate a movie. I still don't to this day. I didn't go to Malignant to hate it. I went to Malignant because I wanted to love the movie. And I just was like, what the fuck are people talking? Why am I the only sane person in the fucking world? Yeah.
He saw it
I went out because of everybody blowing it. I said, Jocelyn, we got to go see this movie. She's like, I'm with you, Dad. And I remember us just, I remember this was just a couple months
then
ago.
they were like, why are we
Sitting
screaming
in,
at each other?
and then I was sitting arms crossed. I turned to my daughter. I'm like, what the fuck are we being punked? Is this the real movie? What the fuck's happening here? The only other time that happened recently was The Last Jedi, when I'm like, this can't be the fuck.
That's what I thought of when you were ranting just now. I remember you came home and posted on Facebook a big rant about it.
Yeah. And I only do that when I'm like, I feel like I've been fucking bamboozled. When I went to see Leprechaun, I had no misgivings. I went to see a movie called fucking Leprechaun. It's called a movie theater, JP.
Oh,
a movie house.
You're talking about
they
the
show
original
moving pictures. What?
The show.
The show. Yeah, he went to
I
the
went
show.
to the show. I even saw I honestly think I saw Leprechaun 2 in the theater. I think it still came to the theater, and then it went. Then after that, they went direct to video.
Yeah, which was stupid
wait.
because the third one was the best one.
Let's not go
So
fucking
wait,
crazy.
why did you go to 2 if the fucking 1 sucked so bad to you?
Because I went to see everything.
Okay.
That was when I went to see. I saw
There wasn't
Dr.
really
Giggle.
much coming out. Back
I saw
then.
every horror movie. I saw Body Parts twice the same day.
That came to the theater, Body Parts?
Yeah, 91, Eric Red. It was a
Wait
big
a
movie.
second. Not Body.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You
I
think
got
of Body
Parts
Bags?
from Body Bags. I got it confused with Body Bags. I was
Yeah,
like,
man,
wait,
I saw
Body Bags came on Showtime.
everything.
it was a TV. Right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry,
What's
guys.
body parts?
Body Parts
It's
is the one where the
from
guy
91.
Jeff
Is that
Ferry,
Fahey?
yeah, Ferry,
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
a good
yeah,
movie.
Jeff Ferry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Jeff
batshit
Ferry.
crazy. I like the movie.
Fairies.
I
Yes.
saw Man's Best Friend. Remember that one with Lance Henriksen and the robot dog?
I saw that in
saw-
the movie theaters.
I saw that in the theater. I saw
It's a robot dog?
everything.
Yeah, he's like a.
Is it a robot?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I never.
Oh, it's a
I never
real
saw-
dog playing a robot dog. Does a great
What's
job. I think
the werewolf movie that came out there? Half Moon or Blood Moon?
Bad Moon.
Bad Moon.
Bad Moon.
I saw that one in the theater. I saw everything at that time in the theater, man.
Yeah,
Everything.
You got to see some real classics.
Blood Moon, Bad Moon.
Popcorn. I saw Texas Chainsaw 4 in the theater. It was the only movie. JP, that's the one I said I want to walk out of this thing. And the girl I was seeing said, no, we got to see how this
I have
movie
a
ends.
love-hate relationship with that one because I think it's dog shit, but I still watch it like
Same.
more often
Same.
than I should.
Oh,
It's insane.
I never
I don't
want to
know
watch
why,
it
but I do.
I never want to watch it. It's absolute dog shit.
It
I
came
never-
out in 94. Are you doing the 94 show with us?
I'm not dog shit.
Am I allowed to? I'll do all the work.
Any of you. You guys still doing it?
Yeah,
Christian's not. Yeah. I'm already
Christian
up
got
here.
turned off for life. He wasn't even on the show, and he's turned off for life. That's the
I
funniest
said-
part of all.
Here it is,
He goes
JP.
to
I
the
mean,
base
you know
all
I
the
don't mix
time.
words. I'll tell you guys directly. It doesn't matter to me. I've said
I
on the
hate
show, but you
food.
didn't hear.
I hate
I
food.
said, you guys started at like 5 p.m. or whenever you started. You're still on at 1 a.m. I'm like, I'm
Dude,
not fucking doing
listen.
that.
That was not. I barely talked. Like seriously, I couldn't remember anything about those movies. Like I was barely even on that show.
Right?
It's like my worst performance ever.
No, I could think of a couple others.
No, I'll do it. I do, but I say I'll go insane. I'll go insane if we're on.
Honestly, you don't have to watch a lot of movies for that year. I'm already looking. I don't know how Dave Parker's watched like 600 movies already.
Yeah, I think he's watched around 60 already.
That's
I've watched
insane.
like 5.
I've watched 0, and I'll
When
probably
is the
hit,
show?
like, 30. It's tomorrow.
When did we say that one was? Oh, I think April.
Chris,
think
that
it's
physical comedy you did there. The way you swung your whole body and your head back there.
I missed it. Son of a bitch.
It's really funny.
Oh,
April.
Sunday.
April's
Tomorrow.
a good deadline. It's Sunday.
April. He's writing in
What
his
they got?
book. 94
April.
show. April. Honey, I'm busy in April.
Be there or be square. I will do the work again and hopefully show up this time.
All right. This would
Yeah.
be great.
Well,
Is Jeremy coming or no? Is it just
probably
going to be?
no. I think Jeremy probably won't because I think he just wants to step away from those shows because he legitimately hates prepping for those.
It's okay. It's busy
And
too.
he's like working like way more now. And
He's rich as fuck now, man. He's
yeah,
rich
I
as
know.
most of any of us.
He's making
So-
lots of money.
What's he
like,
working on?
like a ridiculous
What's he
amount.
been working on these days? Is he working on-
He did a Cheez-Its commercial this week.
Okay.
What's he do on the crew? Is he in a grip gaffer?
No, so he was just a PA, but he got upgraded to something. He's like some sort of like set manager or something like that. I don't know. He does a lot of like telling
Production
other like PA people what to do now.
Yeah, you might be the production manager then, or there's production coordinator, production manager, and they typically you have a short list of people that is on your call sheet that you call that come on the show. That's awesome. If that's what he's doing, that's pretty cool.
He definitely put his time in. I mean, he was doing that PA job for like 6 years, but he's been
man. I did
like
it for
he's
2
been
years
buying.
And I got out. I had to get out.
He's been buying so much movies, like expensive stuff too, like stuff he would never touch before. You know what I mean? Like Vinegar Syndrome 4Ks and stuff. Yeah, pretty much like stuff like that. You know, so it's just like it's crazy seeing him actually not be completely frugal. Like he bought a 4K TV, and then he gave it to his grandparents and went and bought another one because he's like, I'll just give this one to them.
Damn, nice. That's nice.
That was nice. I remember I posted saying, "Hey, I'm trying to collect all the Friday the 13th movies." He's like, "Hey, bitch, check this out. I got it." And I'm like, "How much do you want?" No response.
What?
So he just threw in my face that he had it. Hey, here's what you're looking for. It was like the double feature. You know, they came out like I've got all of. I got
with the Blu-rays.
The double feature Blu-rays, and for whatever reason, part 7 and 8. The Blu-ray one shot up, and because it's so rare now, it was like I could have gotten it for like $16, and I was like, "That's still too expensive."
Aren't you the same guy that like that you think like those movies are bad? The later Fridays.
But just like
I do too.
Even more so.
You guys are so fucking fake with this shit. I've been saying it for years.
I'm gonna choke the fuck out of you. I'm gonna choke the young shit out of you.
You're the biggest fans of it, and you're like, I hate part 7. So stupid. It's 8.
No, I don't hate it.
It is, but I'm a fan of the fucking series, and I still watch it. I still watch it. Part 8, Jason Takes Me Night was the first one I saw in the theater. I got a soft spot in my heart for that piece of fucking shit.
It's not a piece of fucking shit.
Oh my god, it might be the worst one.
It's good.
It is the worst one. It's the last Paramount. That's all there is to it. It was the very end.
I don't understand. Like, I mean, I still, there's like a nostalgia factor that keeps me coming back, but I can still admit that the movie's not good. And
it's not bad either. It's good. It's good. It's a good movie. I like it. It's fun.
It's terrible.
I wish I felt that. I want to feel that way, but I can't objectively look at
I'm a real Friday the 13th fan, and you guys are fakes.
You're the opposite.
Yeah. Let me just step aside here for a second.
Dave's argument is that he likes the franchise so much that he's willing to admit that he doesn't like it. That's his argument.
No. I don't blindly say something is great just because of a label. That's terrible. I could never do that.
No, instead you won't admit that you legitimately like them because you think that they're bad for some reason, but you still like them.
You don't like Jason X. That's Heads and Tails better.
Yeah, it's the worst one. And I don't even not like it. I like it. I just think it's the worst one.
I think part 8 is bad. It's just objectively bad. It's just a bad movie. There's too many plot holes. There's too many bad things about it. I just can't wrap my head around them. It bothers me. But I mean, part 7.
But don't you still love them? You still love part 8.
Do I still love it?
Love is a strong word. I still will watch it. I will still watch it.
Do you own stuff of part 8?
I own a ton of shit of part 8. Yeah.
Because you love it.
I do. I have to appreciate it to a degree as a collector of it. As a collector of the Paramount years, yes.
I'm crazy. Obviously,
you guys love the franchise.
Pointed out
and you talk shit on it.
I love collecting dog shit.
Right.
I've got that collection over there.
People don't buy multiple copies and things that they don't love.
This
it's just not true.
Unless you're insane.
Right.
Like us. Right. Now, dude, on DVD, before I started this collection, when I was just purchasing DVDs just for the sake of watching them, before I started this Friday the 13th collection room, the only ones I owned on DVD were 1 through 6. That was it. And then when 10 came out, I bought X, and then I bought but that's when the remake came out. It was Blu-ray time, and I bought it anyway. But the only ones for years that I had since DVDs came out were 1 through 6.
Okay, but
watch
now
7.
You have what? You have the Scream Factory Blu-ray box set.
Of course, I got 2 copies of that.
You have the other box set.
Yes, I have every box.
Wait, you have
4 copies of part 8.
You're not helping JP. You're helping JP's argument.
Right, you love them. You love them.
I love the franchise.
We do love them. I don't think we've ever said we don't. We just shit on certain installments, like of any franchise out there.
The installments that you're seeking more copies of at the present moment.
Right.
Particularly part 7 and 8 double feature.
I'm being a completist.
Like
you're
this obscure.
You're a
by the way,
completist
this
idiot.
obscure double feature that doesn't even have any more special features. It doesn't have anything unique. The cover's
JP,
ass too.
I'm gonna buy the Laserdisc of it. I've gone bonkers. I'm gonna buy the Laserdisc. Has nothing. It's a Laserdisc.
I'm with it.
I'm gonna buy it though.
This is how crazy they are. They're actually downgrading at this point. They have the Ultimate Collection, and we're looking to downgrade it.
See,
Right.
look, that was the newest suggestion.
Listen, I'm not, dude. I have all this stuff you have too. I love all this stuff. I want all the Laserdisc. I have all of them on VHS. But you know the difference is that I actually fucking like the movies.
Oh, I gotta fucking.
He's a real fanboy.
I want to wring your neck. Can I? May I?
Hold on now. It's our favorite franchise. It's my favorite franchise, but when I say that, all I'm saying is that all franchises suck, and this one sucks the least of all of them to me. Every horror franchise pretty much sucks. This one sucks the least. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah, but you love part 1 through 4. You think they're amazing.
Yes, that's why. Correct. That
and you
carries
like part 5 a lot.
Yes.
And 6 you're okay with.
6
So
and 7. I'm
why
okay
do
with.
you but you still want to own all the shit from part 7, 8, the ones that suck?
Yeah, because that's the Paramount years. It's nostalgia.
JP, I even like more of them than I think Dave does in a sense. Like I love part 1 through 6 are no problem. 7 and 8 I've got issues with, but I still watch them. 10 I like. Jason Goes to Hell is the only one that's really like I could take or leave, but it's for the gore factor a watch. I love the remake. I actually really, really dig the remake. Most people shit on that. I don't know why they shit on it, because I like what they did with it. I can't believe it's been since 2009 since we've gotten another installment, because that one actually did.
That's nuts.
I mean, before the lawsuit came.
But here's the thing. Let me tell you. Let me give my side of it. Friday the 13th is my favorite franchise. I love them all, and I have all kind of stuff from all the movies. Now your turn.
What do you mean now my turn?
Here's my turn.
Love that you love the
trivia.
it's your favorite franchise. You love them all, and you own a bunch of stuff from all the stuff.
JP, you're not going to win trivia against these
No. JP doesn't even know the characters' names in hand. I heard him on a recent show. Someone says an obvious fucking one of the characters' names for the first 6, and he fucking stumbled, didn't know what it was.
There's like 30 fucking characters. I don't care about their names.
I know every fucking. If you give me trivia, Friday the 13th trivia, I'll
Britain's
fucking.
in hell.
And you won't. Okay, and that proves my point.
JP, you're going to lose this.
No. Dave literally proves my point. He's talking about how much he loves this series by saying, I know all the characters from every movie, but won't fucking admit that he loves the series and loves all the installments.
But I'll never sit down. I don't love. How can I love a movie that I give a 3.5 to? It's physically impossible.
I don't know. You tell me. Why do you love it? Why do you own
3.5, but he wants to know who the Indian on the wall is. I fucking hate this movie.
Ask JP that. No one else has responded. Ask JP.
Slim Whitman.
Okay, I'll ask JP.
Slim Whitman. Slim Pickens.
He probably doesn't know anything about it. Okay, JP, you know that in part 2, I gotta find the picture. There's this one scene when they're downstairs. In the background, there's a picture on the wall.
Of course, the picture on the wall. Yeah.
Okay, so the picture on the wall. Hold on, let me pull it up and go to recent.
I know exactly what it is.
It's in the background on the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, we want to know what the picture is of.
Oh, I can't see my.
I
thing.
guarantee JP is going to agree with me.
You're there.
Can you see it, JP?
A little bit.
Does that look like an old white guy or an Indian with a tomahawk like Christians?
That looks like an old white guy to me.
Yeah, right? Christian's fucking nuts.
There's another picture of him.
Drop the fucking feed.
Cut his mic.
But that's my point. You're so into the franchise, and you love all this stuff, all these little details and stuff like that. You have all these Friday stuff. Friday's your favorite, and yeah, I know. I agree. The first 5 are like the best. They're way stronger than the later half of the franchise.
I love 6 too.
But my point is that you would rather watch 7, 8, 9 than a lot of other movies. And I don't care if you give it a 3 or not. You would rather watch it.
Yeah,
I
don't think I disagree with that. I think I've said that. Maybe Dave hasn't. I think I have said I am doing that, and I have rated a couple of them quite low.
Like if you could pick one box set to go on a year-long thing, you're probably picking the Friday box set.
Yeah.
And you're gonna watch 1 through 4, and you're going to watch the other ones. You're not just going to watch 1 through 4 because they're your favorites. You might watch them the first handful of times, but you're going to go into the sequels because you like those ones as well.
Well, I'll tell you this.
4, 5, and 6 were my favorite growing up. No question. 4, 5, and 6. I think 5 exemplifies a Friday the 13th movie better than most of the actual installments. It has the most kills, a killer in a hockey mask. It just ends up being fake Jason. But as a kid, it had
it was Jason in a human mask. Damn it!
Right.
But it had the most nudity, and it had the most kills, and
the most cocaine use,
and the most cocaine. And so, like, it was just everything just rang true to me as a kid. During my cocaine addiction at the age of 15. But I love those ones. Those were it. And then as I got older, my appreciation for 1 grew substantially, and 2, because I always thought 2 was faulty because of the fact it was so heavily censored that it actually annoyed me as a Friday the 13th fan, because I thought all the other ones delivered so much more on the kills. Only later in life, I know, Brandon, you're in hell right now, I apologize. Only later in life did 2 ring as high as it has. But I was a late bloomer to 2. Like, I actually said 4, 5, and 6.
I didn't like the first 2 because they didn't have the hockey mask when I was a kid, and that's what I knew Jason as. Because my first one that I ever seen was 7. And then I think 9 was my second one. So I had like kind of a weird start. But then I went back and watched like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I remember not seeing 1 until like way fucking late, until Joe Bob showed it on Monster Vision in like 96 it was. So that was when I first seen the first one. And years later, 2, I think it was from the Skeleton Crew, really, listening to Alex talk and probably Dave too talk about part 2, that I like realized, like, dude, I actually love part 2. I just didn't realize I loved it as much as I do. And it's like obviously one of my favorites in the series now.
You know what? It's not your fault that you have bad taste in movies based on these first movies that you saw.
Leprechaun.
7, 9, Leprechaun. You didn't have a chance.
Fucking Leprechaun.
No, it's true, dude. Like, I remember my first Elm Street was Elm Street 4.
Oh,
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I thought Dave
first one I saw in the theater. First one I saw. Dave hates it, but that was the first one I saw in the theater too. I saw the other 3 before.
Well, I didn't see it in the theater. I was fucking
he
not
wasn't
alive.
born. He was 0.
I saw it on VHS as a kid, and put, like, you know, dude, I was.
That's like me saying, well, you're not a true horror fan. You didn't see that in the theater. I don't care if you had no option to. Only true horror fans saw that in the theater.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, didn't you lose your virginity to fucking Nightmare?
So you got a blowjob.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was a whole enchilada.
Yep, on VHS.
That's
what was his name again?
That's why the Dream Child came in next year.
Luckily, it wasn't a Dream Child, right?
Yep,
Holy shit,
yep, it was in a room with
one
of my best friends, and like on the same bed as him. He was passed out drunk. It was a mess.
On the same bed as him?
Yeah, yeah, he was on the side. I didn't give a fuck, bro. I didn't give a fuck.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, when I was young, dude, I'd do whatever. I don't care.
Fuck,
dude.
I do it now if my wife wouldn't give a shit. What do I do?
Is nobody acknowledging the fact that JP is talking about the fact that he banged an unconscious dude?
I know. Why don't I have a seat?
So listen, I thought about what you said. Would I rather watch? Here's a good comparison. Would I rather watch Jason Takes Manhattan over Halloween 4 and Nightmare on Elm Street 4, even though I rate them higher? Yes. And
we're making ground.
And I'll tell you why.
Well, that is a little nutty, but
I'll explain why. Now, look at it. The same reason why, if at the height of his career, if Eddie Van Halen himself played on a fucking, I don't know, Quiet Riot's album instead of their guitarist, and I didn't like Quiet Riot, I would rather listen to that album because I know that Eddie's playing fucking lead guitar on it than some other band that I fucking like more because I want to see Eddie. It's the same thing here with like Jason. I want to see the character of Jason and the music, Harry Mefferdini's music, and those things there. That's all I'm saying. I think that's a good comparison.
Nutty.
It's my appreciative of a certain thing, if the nuances of a Friday film run deeper than they do in Halloween 4 and fucking, well, not even so much Halloween 4. I kind of like, because Halloween's my second favorite franchise, but still, but like a Nightmare, you know what I mean? So it's like,
So
that's the best.
But here's the thing, right? So like Friday Part 7, 8, 9, right? Like you know a lot about them. You know like the trivia. You know all the actors. You know
so
the characters. You've seen them so many times. Generally, me knowing you, movies that you don't really like, you're not going to keep watching.
Well, as a kid, remember, this is VHS era in the 80s, and this is what we did. And a lot of times I would get and I'm sure you could appreciate it too, I would get in those moods where I would catch Jason fever, and I would just fucking marathon all of them.
I got Jason fever, Jason fever, it's driving me crazy.
Every Friday the 13th, I continue where I left off. Like, so I'll go through the whole series every time. So this next Friday the 13th, I think I'm back at the beginning because I watched the remake last time. So I'll start with 1, 2, 3, get as far as I can. Then the next Friday the 13th, I'll continue. I know Brandon loves Friday.
I gotta get a COVID test to see if I have Jason fever.
And I saw them all on the theater opening night from Part fucking 4 on.
Dude, that is something I'm jealous of. I've seen now, the only ones I still need to see, I think, is Part 2 and Part 8. Or no, did I see 8? I can't. There's only I know I need to see X. Man. And there's like 2 or 3 that I haven't seen in the theater yet.
X gonna give it to you.
We haven't had a lot of those re-releases here. Maybe like Part 3 back in the day when I kept missing in true 3D. Now I don't care, but that was the one that we don't get like theaters playing one just for fun and shits and giggles anymore.
Yeah,
so,
we often get Part 1. Like
days.
Part 1 plays out here like every couple of years, but to see the like sequels has been hard to do. But I've managed to see most of them because we drive like, I don't know, like 5 hours away to this drive-in that does Camp Blood every year, and they always play 2 Friday the 13th, and they're kind of random.
You never invite me.
Awesome.
Dude, we did invite you. You're closer than me. You're closer to that drive-in than me.
Next time you go, I'm coming.
Okay, this summer.
When is it?
In
Summertime?
his pants.
Well, you guys should come. Well, if I don't know how the world.
Oh, if they're coming, I'm not coming.
No, the next October we're doing Cinema Wasteland in Ohio.
Dude, that Cinema Wasteland trip has been planned for the last 7-8 years.
I know, but it's like.
Is it really happening?
I think it's really happening because Dave. I think Moods and Dave are definitely going. Jeremy's probably going to go, so I pretty much have to at this point.
Shit, man.
Where is it?
Cool.
In Ohio.
Oh, Ohio's actually pretty close.
It's a big, it's like one of the biggest horror conventions.
Where? Sandusky?
No,
I've been to
I think we're going to Sandusky in like 2 weeks, maybe.
Mike Sandusky.
I never should have showered with
Is
those
it in
kids.
Columbus?
I never should have showered. It was my idea.
All I know is everything's about within 6 hours, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
There you go. Good old Ohio. Shit.
I wouldn't say that, but
There's nothing good about Ohio, but maybe.
Yeah, I hear you. Whatever. It's close. That's the only good thing about it, right?
So, what do you guys do now? You release your old shows like after a year or something? How's that go?
It's not. It's
Is it
just
a year. I don't even
it's
know.
not
what
even
it is.
a year.
It's one a month.
We're just doing one a month. We did like 2 throughout the summer, and now we're back to 1. So every month.
Do you think like new people are like, holy shit, they were like they didn't know you guys went to like Patreon or something? Or
yeah,
like,
there's a
holy
lot.
Shit, they released
Actually,
a new episode.
Actually,
Yeah,
I feel like
people
we've
do
got a huge following. Not like a Moods following on YouTube, but comparatively to before when it was just our listenership, the YouTube listenership seems to be picked up, and we're getting a lot more comments on it and stuff.
Yeah, I looked at your channel fairly recently because did Dave tell you somebody was uploading your new shows to YouTube?
I forgot to tell him because I didn't even understand how.
Yeah, so I found a channel that was uploading your newest shows. Like they've been doing it for like a month, and they were uploading like all your. So it had to be a Patreon member almost, right? Like I don't know if there's any way else to get access to that, but they were and then they were just gone. They I don't know if they deleted the channel or it got shut down. I don't know.
Nice.
But
we're being pirated.
But that's the
Yeah,
weirdest thing. Like, I mean, we're not.
pirated.
I can understand if we were like some huge fucking crazy ass show that, but it's not. We're not there. That's
What do you mean?
very bizarre.
I lead off every conversation I have with people.
I will
saying
tell you
I'm
this:
in
the
Exploding Head.
thumbnails were not what you guys used. They would just get like a generic, like movie poster and use that as the thumbnail.
Have you seen Christian's thumbnails? Pretty
Well-
generic. Actually, no. Christian does good thumbnails.
They're it's like everything now. It's called
Some are
assembly
better
line
than
style.
others.
We assembly line style them. I've got Dave's off to the races.
You have to pick a dump.
It's just become something very simple now. I take the old pictures out, put the new ones in, nice and easy. But that's very weird. I can't believe.
Thing.
I
Yeah,
can't
they were.
believe
You were literally being pirated.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I told
That's actually
Dave like a
pretty
while
funny.
ago. I thought it was. I tried to show him, but they
Dave's
were
kinda
on.
Dave.
I forgot
It was
about
Dave
it.
doing
It was Dave. He's pirating his own shows. Like, I can't wait to listen to myself.
Yeah. Well, I think like the key, like, if I wasn't lazy, I would do this. But if you notice, I don't know like how big you guys are into like YouTubers, like podcasts, like Joe Rogan and like other people. But the what people are doing now is they're taking clips from the show, like a topic, and they're uploading just that. And then it's like they're smaller chunks, like bite-sized things that are basically creating like a lot more listeners because they're just
like
finding
they're trailers,
random
teasers.
topics.
Yeah,
they're finding.
Give me
and
Joe
it's just
Rogan money. I'll learn to do that.
Right.
No, I mean, I
random
got to be
topics.
honest, JP. I'm all for that. At the beginning, we were doing that because there was most people were on board that are like true listeners and fans, and we get it. Some people that come and they go. It's like they're there for. There's some that have been consistently there, and others would say they'll apologize and say, "Hey guys, sorry, I got to dip out for a month or two." We're like, "Fuck, I mean, thank you. Don't even worry about it."
Right.
Then they come back, and it seems to be like a circular thing, and we're cool with all of that. But where I'm going with it is when we made the decision, we pissed people off. There are people that had messaged
Were
me
people
and
really
said,
pissed?
well, I mean, like we're
were a
not
few.
talking mass amount, but there were people that were pissed, and they would message and say like, "Hey, like, and telling me they not so much that they didn't appreciate it, but they're giving me say, why don't you put like little teasers out?" So at the beginning, we did. We put
Right.
little teasers out, and I was doing that for the first few, maybe 3 or 4, and then I got kind of, I'm like,
It's
this is a lot of work.
What you need is a listener, a dedicated listener who's willing to do that shit for you. But think about this, right? This show right here.
You volunteering,
guys
JP?
just recorded. No. I don't even want to do this for my own show. But like that little section where, like, we just talked about Friday the 13th. You upload that clip from this episode, and it says JP calls out Dave and Christian for being fake Friday fans, and you just upload that, and then people would click that and be like, "Oh, this is enticing," and they would want to hear the rest of
I'd rather
the show,
delete it.
whatever.
It's good.
And
It's good
that's what's working now. As someone who follows a lot of like bigger podcasts, that's what everybody's doing. They're taking chunks of a show and just uploading 6 or 7 different topics, and then like people who don't want to listen to a 5-hour show or a 2-hour show, they'll follow those clip channels. They'll make a separate channel called like Joe Rogan Clips or MMA podcast clips or whatever, and then they're really successful. Like that's the new thing that's taking off right now.
And you'll always see them on like Facebook or YouTube, where it's usually a picture of someone going. And then it'll be like JP calls out, the exploded heads for being
The
fake Friday
or
fans.
the fake Friday
and that's
fans,
a perfect example. We're gonna do that.
I
We're
haven't
gonna
seen
steal
that one.
idea.
I haven't seen that one in my Facebook feed. Thank
Right,
God.
because people are going to see that like, oh, and even the title was like, oh, this is okay. What's going on here? And then
It's total clickbait, but he did call us out.
Hey,
it's not clickbait. It actually happened. It was that real conversation. or like you take one, it's like, is Dave Z a pedophile? Question mark.
Why not? If you
And then
call
you have
everything
that
else.
Chris Hansen conversation from the beginning.
That's it. You
But,
imagine
like,
put
that's
that.
what it-
She wasn't young
I
enough.
managed-
Hanson put out the sweet tea as clickbait for Dave.
Yeah.
But that's what is like popular right now. It's these bite-sized chunks of podcast episodes for people that might not want to listen to the whole thing, but then they'll listen to that clip and be like, oh, I might actually listen to this now because that was really entertaining, or like I want to hear more about that, or that there's more to the episode that is probably going to be just as interesting or entertaining. That is the algorithm right now that for success with podcasting. But it, again, I don't feel like doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like
because we all have jobs too, and it's time consuming. I've got a family, I've got jobs, job, and it's just
the thing is,
that's it. It does take time. It does take time, but when you're already editing the show, you've got to prep for the show. I've got to watch movies for the show. And everything else, it's
well. That's
crazy.
why you need a listener to take over that shit. Someone who loves the show and wants to help build it. And
JP,
I vote for JP.
Luis,
Who seconds
Luis
it?
used to do that for us. He used to take. But this was back when it wasn't popular to do that. He would take the clips, the funny moments, and he would compile them and put like the best of these 10 episodes or something.
Yeah, but combining funny clips from a 22 Shots episode is not that hard. What is it, like one thing maybe every other episode?
Are you saying it's not that hard because there's so many funny things?
I was saying it's not that hard because
that's a good spin on it, JP. That was a good spin on it.
Damn you!
it is. Shit, man.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I thought about it. I thought about going to TikTok because that
That
seems to be
too.
fucking
You put 'em
I'm
on
on
crazy.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he
well,
doesn't
then you
promote
could
the
do
show.
it
He just
there.
promotes Lucky over there.
No, I don't. I haven't talked. Well, okay, one thing had Lucky on. But
That's the only thing I saw from your TikTok.
I have no fucking time. I've been trying to make a video of that Silent Night Deadly Night fucking thing for 3 weeks since I got it, and I still haven't had time. I got the VHS box, the fucking original big box. My friend bought it for me.
Yeah,
Really?
He sniffed it on the last episode.
Real hard to find.
That's cool.
Dave sniffs VHS box. There's our caption, and there's a clip from last show.
I even sniffed it because they told me to, so I sniffed it. Speaking of Silent Night Deadly Night, well, I did. I wasn't gonna do it on my own.
Dave, send me
fucking
that
just-
box now, free of charge.
I just wanted to do
Are you
it.
gonna smash it?
No way.
My smashing days are over. Sorry, Chris A.K.A. Scott. He wants it to be a trilogy.
Days are over.
I am not gonna. It was a gimmick to be a joke. It backfired on me, other than our listeners who loved it.
Wait, how did it backfire on you?
Oh,
You got two bad ratings.
that fucking VHS group
You got
just
two
went
bad
fucking.
reviews, you said?
Yeah, right
Oh, yeah,
after
whatever.
two fucking. Hold on, I'm gonna look up our show.
We even know who one of them is for
Well,
sure.
Did you
There's no
see
question.
Did you see what they're doing now? Do you guys know like comics, like how you send them in, or like sports cards,
the
you send them into
hecklers.
these companies and they
get graded?
they grade them. They're doing that with VHSs now, but it's a complete scam because there's no way to tell if like the reels are original and stuff like that, and the knowledge that you would have to know. But people are sending their tapes in. They're just these arbitrary ratings, and people are putting them on eBay and stuff. Whoever came up with that is a fucking genius because it's a huge scam.
Yeah.
Get in on it.
Yeah.
Unreal. So
I
now
don't
here
really
it is.
care. I wasn't there to. I didn't even want to smash VHS. It just became
Yes, you
something
did.
that we
It
joked
was
about
in your
on the
heart.
show.
I could when
and
I
had to do it.
watched that video, I was like, "This is a man who's been dreaming of smashing VHS for a very long time." You can see it in your eyes; it's like a twinkle there. You know what I mean? And when you lifted it up. I'm like, this is like the culmination of years and years and years of like pent up aggression. And
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was weeks and weeks of aggression built up based on two individuals that pissed me off based on the response to Dave, and I just didn't get it. And we came up with the idea on the show as a lark. And then one day I'm like, I'm going to make Brandon and Dave laugh. I'm going to film the fucking thing. And I gave him the uncensored, it was like just the one take thing. And Brandon said, that's fucking gold. But then I edited
really
it down
was.
a little bit.
It was
and it
one
was
of
a
the
joke.
funniest things ever.
It was
the way the tape fucking exploded.
Perfect.
I mean, it looked
Yeah,
like
I told you
Roy,
you
it
should
looked
have
like
you should
Roy
have put
entering the
a
house in
blister
Friday 5.
a blister pack in there with blood and shit. That would be fun.
Yeah, if there's ever a part 3, I'll think of blood.
Well, how are you gonna not do a trilogy?
Because
I know, right?
Isn't it great just to leave it hanging at 2? Just
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do one. I'll put on a mask. I'll put on a silver shamrock mask. I'll get a fucking mallet. I'll come down here and I'll do some shit. I'll have my daughter.
I'll wear my dad's face, and I'll fucking smash a fourth head.
Yeah, skin him. Skin your father's face.
I'll skin my dad.
I knew you were fucking Norman Bates all
Who's your daddy?
I've been saying that
your
for years.
father's face. What the hell? How are we going to top it? Well, I'm going to skin my father's face and wear his face on top of mine. I'm going to red face myself and then smash a copy of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre on VHS.
Whoa.
I know what I'm smashing.
I know, right? Not that.
I'm smashing Beethoven.
I don't think it. See, you got to smash something somebody would care about, but not something like TCM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. I might do one. I have original ones here too. Maybe I can make it a trickery where I can edit it out and I won't actually. It'll be a ripoff. I'll open it up and it'll be Microwave Massacre. But then I'll close it and then I'll edit it out. So,
if it's Microwave Massacre, you got to put it in a microwave.
I'll burn the fucker. You're right. I'll destroy the microwave too. That'll be cool. Imagine that. Melting a Microwave Massacre in a microwave.
Wait a minute. I feel like this could be something here. How many different ways can you fuck up a VHS? You know what I mean?
We can burn Halloween 2 because Michael burns at the end of the movie. We can even have it walking.
Yeah, but you got to shoot it in its eyes first.
Well, that was a joke. It was eventually going to be like a chainsaw. I wanted to take a chainsaw to one for chainsaw. I wanted to do I have a snowblower, throw one into the snowblower, and just like watch it like.
How about JP smashing a copy of Leprechaun? The joke writes itself.
And a tear just comes down his eye. Because it's like the first movie ever. It's a short joke.
So here it is, February 19th. This is when all the shit was going down. February 19th, 2021. We got 2 bad reviews, 1-star reviews at the same fucking day. And this is what it says. A concerned podcast listener. Frontal lobes were never fully formed. It's not their fault. But if you aren't ready to cringe for an hour or two, you might want to skip this one. That one.
She's pretty much on par, Nikki. We know that that's Nikki. So she's on par. Bolt Thrower, one of the best bands ever, Nikki. We're right there with you.
And this one, The Saw is Family, which it makes me a little concerned. The Saw is Family is this person's, their handle. And it says garbage. Easily the worst horror podcast ever. Don't waste your time. So there you go. We have 2.
Jordy Dickens, I bet. Yeah, there you go. They're the 2.
The only thing I don't get is why did I get lumped in with you two, Chuckles?
I didn't do anything. What do you mean, me?
What do you mean? You were in the group.
You were
with
the
them.
one that started it all.
Yeah. I didn't start shit. Whoa. I didn't even reply when they said anything. All I didn't even remember how it began. I said something nice about fucking selling something or doing so. Or I just mentioned, this is what it was. I mentioned that I don't watch the movies.
Yes, that's what you did.
It came up in a conversation. I said, well, I don't watch them. I just collect them. So because I said I just collect them and don't watch them, they all fucking, not all, but
two guys went on them and I went off on them and then I got booted out of the group for saying, I don't even know what I said. And they booted me out of one of the groups. So then I just joined the other one. But I had joined like months before because I was interested in collecting the Friday the 13th VHS tapes. And that was it. So I was already in the group and I happened to see that they were both in it. My mistake was then causing or starting that shit in that group on those 2. And then the whole group just came like it would be like someone coming in with exploding heads or 22 shots. What happens when that happens, JP? If someone comes into 22 shots, we've seen it. You've seen it unfold. They just get annihilated.
Why can't somebody just say that Brandon guy's good, but the other 2 suck or something like that? Dude, I immediately sucked also.
We've only had 1-star review ever, and awesome. It came this year. So it says Hannibal is based on our Hannibal show. You guys are lame posers. Everybody thinks Silence of the Lambs is a perfect film. No, it's not. Hannibal is so much better. Nothing beats the dinner scene, and it's not the movie's fault. Blame it on the writer. So some dude was pissed that we didn't like Hannibal. And gave us and then here's how most of our negative reviews are. 5 stars, but another negative tone podcast. Why watch horror if you want to spend 90% of the time complaining about it? I don't know, but I still give it 5 stars, but effort, but too critical.
I mean, you can't do this. Is another argument. You got the ones that hate everything, which you guys don't hate everything, and you got the ones that can't say fucking a negative word about anything. Show. Well, no, but then there's other ones that they love every goddamn. If it's horror, I gotta fucking love it. Like, God forbid that there's something shitty in this. Like, trust me, there's shit being made, and I'm tired of saying we gotta give credit for the movie being made. No, we don't have to do that because
if it's a bad movie,
piece of shit
you should be taking away credit for it being made. Exactly.
Yeah, they've made a piece of shit. There's no just because you've made something. Don't get me wrong. There are ones that I've probably come down on where a respect to the fact that they even got it off the ground is warranted. But then there's the shit that you'll find on Amazon or even on Tubi. If you dig a little deeper, you come in and there's no love, there's no creation put into this.
Yeah.
It's not even product. I made that joke. It's almost like a joke, but it's true. It's not even a movie. It's like not even an assembly of well thought out scenes or anything. And we're supposed to respect it just because it's out there? No, it's a piece of shit.
Agreed.
Right on.
Agreed.
Right on.
So,
yeah.
Human centipede.
Marks.
I just didn't
Fucking
think that we
Marks.
were very negative of a show, honestly. Like I feel like we like more stuff than we hate.
Well,
You know what I mean?
We're the same way. We definitely like more stuff than we hate.
Here's another one. Jeremy is the worst speaker on the planet. Voice annoying. No one listens to him on the podcast, clears his throat or smacks his lips constantly. But I have similar tastes in movies. I get a lot of good modern suggestions from him on here and Letterboxd. Moods is cool. 5 stars.
no mention of you or Dave. Was that a long,
You,
was that a
lost,
long time
you
ago?
lost me at Moods is cool.
Unbelievable. You know what, dude? We have probably like 6 or 7 1-star ratings. I can only guess by what the bar looks like. But the only people that ever had the balls to say why were those 2 that I read. Any other time? No. Every 1-star
No, but they
thing
never
we
listened
ever
to
had,
the show, though. That was literally the
they didn't either.
response.
I know.
I know that was literally the response from the Friday the 13th from the post that I did
Right.
about putting the Smashing VHS tape and linking it to that site, calling out the 2 guys that were ragging on Dave, and that was it. And again, I don't even feel like getting into it because it's like when those episodes actually go out to the masses, I'm deleting all that. It's not even going to be in the episode because there was one time I think we went through post over post of what was discussed, and it's all going to be taken out for the release when that goes to the masses. Only
Take
the
out the
patrons
post in
will
post.
Take it out. You might take more things out. Who knows?
fix it in post.
Fix
Not
the
gonna
Maybe I
post.
say things. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely
You
do.
know? Maybe I do. I might say something. I'll say something right now. How about
Colored
that?
Bear.
So, no, because listen, I want to get back to that VHS thing. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I watched it for the first time this Christmas with Francesca. So my daughter finally got to see Silent Night, Deadly Night. I watched it with her. So we had a lot of fun. She enjoyed it. That was nice. It might be a new tradition for us. So I was excited about that. Now here's the funny thing. This is what it led to. Do you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen it, on the DVD and even on the Blu-ray, they have that one section where it's the outrage of all the people back in the day that talk shit about the movie and it got it pulled from fucking theaters and, Mickey Rooney being one of them, which was funny because he was in part 4, right?
5.
So, 5, okay. Well, I didn't see it. So, you're right. Yeah, 4 is the initiation, 5's the toy maker.
I actually like 5.
I haven't seen them past 2. But anyway,
But that is hilarious, right? That he came out
Mhm.
against it so much, and then he's in the shittier
What a hypocrite.
sequel, the 5th
Right.
one.
What a hypocrite. Anything
I think they probably tricked him. They're like, "Oh yeah, this movie's called The Toy Maker. You want to do it?" And then they release it.
I think
as
you're
Silent
right.
Night, Deadly
I honestly
Night
think
5.
you're right. And then they stuck that Silent Night, Deadly Night moniker
Yeah.
on it.
What a-
That would have been perfect marketing for the thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dave.
Well, that Silent Night, Deadly Night has like a great history with like when it came out and the promotion, and it got tons and tons of hate. Siskel and Ebert did a thing on it. It was just an interesting story. I would like to see a doc on that.
You're right. That would be cool. So let me finish what happened with Frankie now. So she sees the stuff on the screen. I wanted to show it to her. So it's just playing one over the other. It's just all this stuff. Now I go into the kitchen to get something out of the cupboard or whatever the hell. And she's like, wow. She goes, imagine if this movie came out nowadays. Now, before I get into what I'm going to say, I want everyone here to know I don't have any hate for anybody. I have friends on both sides of the political spectrum, whatever. I don't hate any of them. You can believe what you want to believe. I think that they're misinformed and brainwashed, but it doesn't mean I can't be their friends.
The
Okay,
precursor
so
to
be
the
it.
comment.
Well, yeah, because this is what Frankie said. It has nothing to do with me. I just thought from the mouths of babes, this is actually kind of funny for someone who's misinformed but has this general view about different political things. But she's like, wow, imagine this movie came out nowadays. All the snowflakes would hate it and have it pulled and canceled. And I said, funny you should say that. People that I know that I consider snowflakes, as a matter of fact, the horror community definitely has its share of them, strangely enough, love this movie and don't seem to care about that. But you're probably right. If this did come out now, they probably would have a problem with it. That just shows you how everything changes. So that was the first point that I made. Then a minute later, she goes, I wish all snowflakes would just leave the earth, she tells me. And then I tell her, I come and I sit down, I go, well, listen, there's a lot of bad in the world. I said, there's a lot worse things. Not even worse. I go, there's a lot of bad in the world. That's just one thing. I go, there's rapists. I said, there's pedophiles.
You love the pedophiles.
Yeah, there is.
The bad things. There's the bad. What do you mean? I said, there's rapists.
This is the show today. I don't know.
There's
I'm going to do the clip of him just talking about pedophiles and just it's like 5 minutes dedicated to it.
It's probably fresh on the brain because I've been watching the Hanson things, and I explained why. It's the YouTube freaking tunnel. Anyway.
Tell us more about that younger looking girl.
Yeah. So I go, okay, there's rapists. There's pedophiles in the world. There's white collar crime. There's crooks on Wall Street. There's people stealing money from people and getting their life saving. There's all this stuff. There's Trump supporters. I said, so now when I say that, here's the funny part. She goes, all Trump supporters are snowflakes.
What?
And I said, Frankie, here's where you're wrong. Actually, most Trump supporters are most opposed to snowflakes and probably came up with that term to begin with. But I found that funny because in her mind, much like in my mind, they're both major heels in the world. These are the bad guys, Trump supporters and snowflakes. And I just think it's funny that from the mouths of babes, like I said, it's like she doesn't know anything about it. When she thinks about like bad things in the world and what's going on wrong that she sees, that's what she doesn't like Trump supporters or snowflakes. So I thought that whole conversation, and it all began because I watched Silent Night Deadly Night. So I just thought it was kind of.
Which also has snowflakes.
And Trump supporters. Naughty. Trump supporters.
That guy's definitely a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are you going to show her Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2?
Fuck that movie. No.
Come on.
You liked it. What do you mean, fuck that movie? Didn't you say you just watched it like last year and you ended up liking it? And I'm positive this came up on the show. And you said, I don't understand why people have shit on it for so long. Because of Garbage Day, and you ended up watching the movie and enjoyed it. Am I gone crazy?
I don't know.
I don't remember shit.
I love Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2. The only problem is that like half the movie is Silent Night Deadly Night Part 1.
Well, that's it. Like the first 30 minutes.
So just show Frankie Silent Night Deadly Night Part 1 again and tell her it's Part 2.
Definitely skip Part 3 though.
I've never seen Part.
The guy Bill Moseley with the fucking salad bowl in his head.
Yeah, dude, it's a rough one, man.
Was that
some people
a
like
paper salad bowl?
Yeah,
it looks paper. It looks like paper mache, man.
Yes.
Are we gonna read that letter from?
Oh yeah, we got a letter and we got another thing. Yeah, okay.
We got a letter.
An email.
Yeah, we got
a letter. We got a
written in long form.
We got a letter right here. No.
Dear exploding heads, your frontal lobes have yet to form.
No, this is just a thanks from our friend Liz, who I haven't spoken to in a while because I haven't been online and I haven't seen her in the chat. But it's nice to hear from her.
She's too busy hanging out with Scott. That's the problem.
That's true. Yeah, they are homies. Right. So she just says thanks. Hey guys, it's Liz. It's been a little over 3 years since I sent an email, but I thought I'd drop a line again. Been a little down lately with my mom's prognosis, so I'm catching up on the shows. Now that's what I didn't know what was going on. So I'm sorry I don't know that. That's, again, I've said it several times. Even when I was on Facebook, I never went down the feed. So I don't know if anything happens unless somebody tells me directly. So I don't know what it is. I'm very sorry to hear that there was any prognosis. So just finished the anniversary show and enjoyed the special guests. I just wanted to thank you for all the laughter and knowledge over the years. And whenever I need to pick me up, I can count on throwing on your podcast for some amazing belly laughs. I hope you all have a wonderful and safe New Year's, and let's make 2022 an amazing and horror-filled fest. Peace and love, Liz. Gotta love her.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Liz.
I'm down to make 2022 a horror-filled fest.
Hell yeah.
Did you notice, I'm just curious, if you noticed the one episode she referenced is the one that...
Yeah, what's the one I wasn't on? Yeah, what the fuck is that about?
She's mad at you, B.
I knew you'd pick up on that, Brandon. You and you share the same thought process.
I thought, didn't you tell me before that you would never do a show with not all three of you?
Well, there's a reason.
That's what I said. No, they're obligated.
Now we're obligated. Well, hold on. No, it's true though. In the past,
one time we've done it.
There was the one, and we have to do it, JP. You know why? Because we promised the listeners 3 shows a month.
We promise the listeners all kind of shit and don't deliver.
What do you mean?
There's a difference.
On 22 shows, we promise them all kind of shit and don't deliver.
Oh, well,
you know what would happen if we delivered 2 shows in a month?
Wait.
You know what would happen? Absolutely nothing.
Right. Nobody would care. They'd be like, oh, okay, see you guys next time.
No. They're paying for this. That's not
I
fair.
care.
We have to give them... Right. Yeah. They're paying.
You know who's been paying for this the most? Me. I've been paying for this since day one.
For years.
Poor Ben. JP, I'm going to formally ask you now. If one of these guys quits the podcast, would you join Exploding Heads?
Not at this time in the morning.
I could change it.
No,
you really think one of us is going to quit?
I don't know. When you talk, who fucking knows?
Dude, but the only other person for so long.
Okay, just making sure, because JP's like top of my list as a replacement. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
He said that the last 5 guests is joy, JP. Don't let it go to your head.
Why can't you just let me have this?
Yeah.
Why you always want to take things?
Hey, Christian, where's John Rhodes this week?
You earned it.
You're the type of friend that always withdraws and never deposits.
Never. I would never withdraw. Anybody from Skeleton Crew or 22 Shots. Anyone from Skeleton Crew or 22 Shots automatically has a fucking in on this show.
Johnny!
As he blows, as a skeleton blows.
That's John Rhodes.
Well, yeah, I mean,
still waiting for that laugh.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if Christian left, I like Brandon and Dave. If Brandon left, I like Dave and Christian. It would be fun.
See, I hope it never happens.
I don't think Dave can leave. I think if Dave left, it would just.
He's going to be podcasted until he's 102.
I want to do it, but that's all I do. It's one show on a Sunday, 3 shows a month.
Dude, the way Christian's going, by next year, his notes are going to be in fucking Braille. I can't even fucking see anymore.
He's got to get the
like Halloween Ends was. Wait, what are these for?
I don't think I could quit podcasting. I think I don't know if I'll ever quit.
I don't want to quit.
I do have to do this.
I'm
fucking nuts. Sorry.
Are you fucking kidding me? Sounds like he's fucking choking a baby seal.
I can't even try to attempt to fucking recreate that. There's no way.
That would hurt your throat if you tried to recreate that sound right now.
That was legit, too. I was going to say, JP, don't you remember when WotC Party started? And JP said, fuck Exploding Heads. This is the new podcast to listen to.
Did I say that?
Remember that you said it. You said it. I think you're half joking.
I stopped listening to Exploding Heads when you guys went Patreon only because I don't like the format. I don't like listening to it on Patreon.
Well,
that was a big thing. A lot of people didn't like it.
It's not the first time we've heard that.
Listen, I like Spotify, bro. It's my thing. Like I listen to everything on Spotify. They actually just announced that they're going to do ratings on Spotify now, so you guys could get some 1 stars on there too.
Awesome.
Yay.
I heard Jason Lloyd is also bringing the top 10 back to Spotify.
Oh, the top 10. I miss Jason Lloyd.
That'd be great.
I miss the top 10. Remember when we used to
talk to him yesterday?
We got like 9 of the 10 spots one month?
Yeah, we did.
Did you really? 9 of the 10?
No,
I feel like we did.
But it was.
No, between Dave's 75 shows.
Oh yeah.
Okay, check it.
Well, you guys killed it, man. You guys got like you guys blew up on there.
You got very lucky, man.
And then it went all to our heads, and then we just said, "Fuck it."
It wasn't luck. It there might be some luck involved, but
that was the day
you're not going to retain listenership.
Yeah.
Well, there's only I was listening on my iPad, my phone, my computers. I just had the show going. I needed those numbers to get up.
The problem is that the market for horror podcasting is like so freaking oversaturated. It's like insane. It's so hard to get any type of
frustrating.
Notice.
I tried to tell Mr. Venom that, but he won't cancel any of his 30 shows.
Mr. Venom.
To be fair though, I do think a
Mr.
lot of
Watson.
the biggest shows did get extremely lucky. Because I listen
No
to some,
shade.
not to be a hater, but I listen to some of the biggest shows, and I'm like, how is this better than Exploding Heads?
He sounded like Dave now. This was Dave for a while. Remember?
Was it?
I say the
it's
same
well
thing.
every
documented.
episode's like,
20.
how are they
Well,
making this kind of fucking money?
It's insane, dude. Because I literally, like, I know I couldn't get that big because we would get canceled, but like, other shows that are good that I listen to, I'm like, this show should be like one of the most popular shows on the internet. But I don't know how it really is strange how like some shows take off and others don't.
Well, it's about networks. How do you get on the bloody disgusting network? They told me when I talked to them, you have to average 10,000 downloads. I'm like, well, if you put us on the network, I'm sure
We will.
Now, in the meantime, I'm looking at the ratings literally fucking half an hour ago because I'm looking at and they're okay now. If you like Exploding Heads, you might also like then there's 22 Shots. Then right next to 22 Shots is a show called Halloweenies, and they have fucking 592 ratings, and they're on, guess what, the Bloody Disgusting Network.
Hold
and
on, wait. Does it really say if you like Exploding Heads, you like 22 Shots?
Oh yeah, it's always
How
done
do they
that.
know? How do they know?
Because
How do they
it's
know
weird.
that?
Because
I
every
think
other
it's-
episode is a crossover between those.
Fresh Cuts is in there even.
Oh
like
man.
That's not now that
Yeah,
algorithm
way
sucks.
to stroke my ego
Horrorcast
and then
is in
punch me
there.
in the stomach.
Is Horrorcast even a
Horrorcast.
show anymore?
Yeah, that's how I learn about half of my new movies is from the round tables. Sure.
I didn't even know they were still going.
The Horror Virgin, which fucking blew up, 941 fucking ratings.
Is that Jeremy Solocast?
Yeah,
Full
it's
boredom,
strange,
who
man.
cares?
The,
Skeleton Crew.
the landscape is weird out there now. Podcast Under the Stairs, that is a show that I truly think should be massive. Duncan's show, I mean, the amount of work that guy does is insane.
I hear you. I agree. He's another
That's
one.
what happens,
That's what
though,
I'm
man.
saying.
Like
And-
there's
and
certain
he's
ones that
good,
you just
too.
know. You're like, why isn't this bigger? Even
Yeah.
with the summer series that Brian and I constantly mock, but that's just because it's funny. And then
Hey,
there's
you
other
guys are just
shows that you're
haters.
just like,
I try with these guys. I really do. I know they'd love it. but
Well, Brandon specifically, since I
Brandon,
joined,
for
I was like,
sure.
Brandon would be perfect for
He
this.
would be.
I
I think you
know.
should do
He
it next
watches
year.
everything.
I'm
I
doing
keep
it.
trying every chance.
Challenge accepted.
So now there's not going to
This
be.
is the last one.
Wait, why was this the last one?
This next one.
Oh.
Because it's the big one. Because it's a whole other thing. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It'll take 10 minutes to even try to formulate it.
I still don't even understand it,
Not 100%. No.
but I never do until I'm like recording.
But I'll try to get you in, B, again. See, now you missed your now fucking Chasmus is in there. Dan and Lacey are in there, and you're not. What the
Wait,
fuck?
Dan and Lacey are on.
I
this
think
year?
so, because I think I heard him say it on one of his shows recently that they've been added to it.
Well, dude, Mike Merriman's there,
Of course, yeah, and he shouldn't be. Because
he doesn't even watch the movies.
it's because he just wants something to do. If he doesn't record 6 days a week, he's going to slit his wrist. Everybody knows this. You know?
Poor Mike.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's true. It's true. It's the time traveler himself. I don't know how he does it. But here's the thing.
he bends time. We've already
He should
explained
spend
it at
half
the
of
beginning
his
of the
time. He should spend half of his time promoting the show, and instead of recording other ones. Then maybe one of them will really take off. He just fucking. That's what I would do if I had as much free time as he had. I would spend some of it recording, and the other I'd be making a bunch of friends on Twitter. I'd be doing this, that. I've been fucking marketing like mad. You gotta
Why
market.
don't you market anymore? You used to.
Look, I did it for fucking 5 years, and I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm done with it.
It's not working.
I've only come as far. We got our Patreon going. Unless we get on a major network, this show cannot get any bigger than it's gotten.
Well, it's definitely
I don't
not
know.
going to get bigger being Patreon only.
But even
No,
if it's not,
exactly.
But,
Well, we do
however-
put the old ones out, like I say, like
Correct.
so there
Right.
is
that
there's
does
been a little
help.
bit of
I'm pretty
momentum
sure
there.
I said you should do that from the beginning. I'm pretty sure that I said that.
And some of the
I would
naysayers
agree.
that didn't come back to the show mentioned, why don't you do that as well? We said, well, let us at least be patron exclusive for a bit before we revisit that idea. And then it was about a year in, I think, and we came up and then we said, let's do it now and let's start.
Do either of you guys remember what the alternate titles were for Exploding Heads? I remember we had to choose between 3. I think I've asked you guys this before. Do you remember what the other 2 were?
oh, I wonder if I can find it in the chat.
Oh,
The only
man,
reason why I asked that is because I remember when you asked and we chose, there was another one that I was torn between as well before we went with Exploding Heads. But I think there was a choice between 3 names.
Well,
Wow.
I always liked Exploding Heads, and it wasn't even for the double entendre thing. I always just thought it was just so in your face. It was like it left nothing to the imagination in a sense. I just love it. I always said if I stood on a website, it would have been called explodingheads.com. As simple as that.
It's a good, yeah, that would be good.
I'm gonna try
Dave,
to find
you're
it.
gonna be searching forever.
Why? There's only
Cliffhanger.
106
years ago, dude.
Yeah, it was...
You're gonna be
episode
scrolling
30.
up
Yeah,
for a while.
see. Oh, you know what? I gotta go to my other my old fucking thing and find it there because I created this one. Well, it's easy to do. All you gotta do is type in the words "exploding heads" and it comes up in the chat. There was 165. I just scrolled all the way to the
Why are
first
you guys
one.
mentioning your own show 165 times?
That's what
I
we
don't
do.
know.
How do you listen?
In 6 years, I'm sure the title does come up. We're talking about this or that, one way or the other. I don't know.
But don't you guys miss a little bit just like having your shows like a new episode post out there, and like I'm sure you got a lot more feedback when it was, public.
That was back when we cared about feedback.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm finding that now we put the episode from a year ago, whenever it was out, we get some response from there, and we get response from the community on the Patron-only page, and on Patreon as well. So I don't know. I think it's just different. I have no problem with it. I like what we're doing.
Yeah, at this
Patrons
point,
weigh
it's
in.
done.
Do you want us to just have a donate if you want option and go back to the masses, or keep doing what we're doing?
Well, of
I
course
think it's
they
gonna
want you
be
to stay. They're
keep doing
paying
what
for
we're
it.
Yeah, but what you don't realize is a
but-
lot of them are paying for it. We're doing that anyway.
I found
True,
it, motherfuckers. See?
What was it?
I found it. Christian Luciani said way back when, this is it. Some names that I thought of, all with the subheading, the horror movie podcast after, because I had to have that.
That's smart.
One was Terrorific, 2 was Red Rum, and 3 was Exploding Head or Heads.
You definitely made the right call.
Terrorific or Red Rum.
Wow.
I feel like there's probably a show called Terrorific by this point.
Probably.
Wow, I thought there was
Probably
another
not
one that
the
I
best.
liked more than Exploding Heads, but now hearing them back now, we definitely made the right choice.
I mean, Red Rum's
Well,
pretty good, but it's like
even
there's
when-
probably a show called that too.
Even when we remember when we first did the show, we had the introduction with the music that was 9 Inch Nails, as well as, was it Gravediggers? I can't. There was
Yes.
2 mashups.
It was
that we did.
Gravediggers. The intro was fucking was Gravediggers with what do you call it, with Anthrax, and the exit
Anthrax.
was 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, it was 9 Inch Nails. And when we first got the theme music, I remember Brandon wasn't that blown away by it. And I said,
What are you
"Don't
talking
worry."
about? I played it backwards a million times.
No, but I remember you weren't blown away, and even when I was doing it first, I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And then within 2 episodes, I'm like, nope, this is catchy.
Yeah.
It works.
Well, the 9 Inch Nails outro music that we had, every time I listened to an episode and that music kicked in, right, it just felt fucking epic. I was like,
it would slowly build because it was such a long.
Yeah,
Was it Into the Outdoor or something like that? I can't
yeah, it
remember
would
what
start
was like.
playing while we were still talking, and then like one of us would be like, "All right, peace out, see you next week," and then boom, it would kick in and be like,
It was awesome.
It was like we just ended a fucking sold out concert at the Garden.
It was great. So much
Do
fun.
you guys miss anything about like the old days when you first started?
I miss the joy.
Yeah, you were Rookie of the Year back then. Remember?
Well, it was
He was.
much easier, man. We got on at 9. Was it 8:30, 9 o'clock? That my kids were young; they were in bed. Sunday night,
nights.
8:30, 9 o'clock. We went till 12 to 1. Sometimes we went later, and I remember you'd know because you'd hear it in our voices.
The top 50
And-
show.
Oh my God! Well, that was
Ooh.
that was
That was
crazy.
like 5 in the morning. And we're
like I think
"Gotta wait."
back to when you guys did like the slasher thing. Like that
Yeah,
was like
that's-
really hype. That was like exciting.
That was fun.
I remember like well shit, Brandon came out of nowhere. Like he wasn't like a previous podcaster. Remember that? Like you didn't have a
Dude,
show before
Dude,
this.
it was all. I used to like actually. man, I'm gonna sound like I'm fucking such a nerd when I say this, but I used to actually write out what I was gonna say on your guys' recordings.
Did the
I
voicemails?
on the voicemails because I wanted it to sound coherent and intelligent. Because the one thing I hate is when
Dave
people
picked you up.
Yeah, well, that's why I hate when people leave messages and they're like,
what was I gonna say?
like. I didn't want to Kyle it out on there. So
I found the first messages. I found the first message I ever sent to Christian. Our first fucking.
How nice were we to each other back then?
November 7th, 2015. I sent him a message. Hi there. I've been listening to the podcast and wanted to tell you I've been having fun with it. I also am a podcast host and a big Friday fan as well. I was looking for the page you talked about for the show, but can't seem to find it. Could you send me a link? And then he sent me the link for TGIF. And then he said, thanks for reaching out and your kind words on our podcast. The link is above to the Facebook page. Please send a link to your podcast, as I would love to check it out. Talk soon.
You guys sounded like
if that was today, it'd be like, here's the link, you fucking prick.
Fuck face.
So now I answered. This is when I came. We had a little more conversation. A week later, I told him, "Oh, that's cool." Oh, hold on. First, he said this. By the way, technically, I'm not a fan of Skype-style podcasts, but it worked perfectly for you guys as your sound quality was one of the best. That's what he said. And then I told him, "Oh, that's cool. Thanks so much for saying that. The reason I asked is because I'm thinking of starting something new as well, and I am not the tech-savvy kind of guy. LOL. Not sure if you would be interested in producing something like that, but I think you have a great on-air personality as well." Then I said,
"No, I don't want to do it now." No.
And he says, "Hey,
really
Dave,
blowing each other.
Sorry for the delayed response. I'm definitely interested in helping out. I can either spearhead the project, or be a guest, regular, or co-host."
Even then he's trying to weasel his way out. Even back then he's like, I'll help out.
Yes.
Either I can be the star, or I'll just guest here and there. One way or the other, I'm in.
Did you have anybody? Good.
No, I just said I remember saying to Dave, it might even be in that chat, I don't think we should go long form. I'm not a fan of that. We should keep it short. And Dave said, no, I'm adamant about longer form podcasts. And that was when I was
7 years later.
Because I'm ADHD, so I'm like, how am I going to
Me too.
listen to this, be part of it, and then edit it after, and then be a fan of it? Because at the end of the day, I still think you have to enjoy what you're putting out there, or why are you putting it out there? So you've got to be a fan of your own show, or there's no point in doing it. And I was wrong, and I've said that on the show before. I was definitely pushing for short, like an hour and a half type show.
Your craft review was kind of what you were going for.
Yeah.
Dave, did you have
I
anybody else in mind for those two?
Oh yeah, Dave said he had people on the back burner for sure. No question. Who were they, Dave?
On the back burner, but these are the first two I asked. No, I don't even know. Honestly, at that time, I couldn't even think of who I would have asked, to be honest. But you guys were the first two I reached out to. That's all I know. But here's my first conversation with Brandon. Well, he sent me something. October 4th, 2015. It says, still short a few, but here's my list. Mostly horror. Few might be considered non-horror. It was horror movies watched for 2015. So he must have been talking about, I wanted to see everything that he saw because I knew I was going to be doing a year end. Of course, I thought it was going to be Banana Laser at the time, but we didn't know. So anyway, thanks a lot, man. Going to check it out as soon as I finish this game and my movie. I appreciate it. So then he says, okay, let's get to the good stuff. November 14th.
Peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, here it is. All right. November 14th, same day I talked to C. You know anything about recording over Skype? I know this is out of left field. He says, I don't. I'm lucky I can turn my computer on.
Sounds about right.
Then I said, just checking, man. Looking to do some podcasting with people because my partners are too busy to do more than once a month usually. Then he says, I'd actually be interested. I bet I can learn quickly. Then I said, being that you and I watch
the project.
And then the two more things. Okay, being that you and I watch a shitload of new movies, I thought you might be interested in doing something. Believe it or not, I know very little about the recording end. I've been fortunate enough to have the guys I work with do all the producing and editing.
Then he says, still the same today.
True. I would definitely be interested, he says. I know very little about everything. I never really...
He sounds the same today.
Dude, I was going to tell a story before you even started reading this, Dave, about me almost quitting the podcast before we recorded the first episode. Because when I went to buy the mic, and the guy was going over how to use the mic at Best Buy,
You're like, what the fuck?
I was with my dad. I'm like, Dad, I'm not doing this. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Yeah, I got panicked. I was like, what is he talking about cardioid? What the fuck is that? I have to work out while I'm recording? What does this mean?
Oh my God.
And I was just like, I'm not doing it. And my dad
I
yelled
remember
at
you
me,
used to
and
tell me that you would watch the movie like a couple times because you wanted to make sure you were all good.
I used to pause it every 2 seconds, rewind it every 2 seconds. I used to write, all my reviews was me rewriting the script to the movie. Word for word.
Unbelievable. Wow. So now he says this. I never really used Skype before or recorded anything. I wish you could have those days back, huh? Never used Skype before. I don't know what I would need, but I would get it and do something 100%. Then I told him, of course, this guy has to come up. You could probably ask JP about what he uses to record if he only had the time. The only thing you would need is a computer and a store-bought mic. Maybe we can get a third guy that is tech savvy, unlike us, LOL.
We never did get that
Enter
text
the fucking
savvy guy.
Yeah.
We got Christian instead.
Yeah, that's it.
Then he says,
Oh.
if we can do that, you can count me in. And I said, well, if there's anyone you could think of, let me know. I'll be looking as well. Of course, by that time, I already had C in mind. I just wasn't letting him know about this.
I definitely wasn't looking.
November 17th.
Who the hell did you know? You didn't know anybody but
yeah, I
me
just
and
probably
Moods
wanted to
and
sound
them.
cool. I was
I
probably like,
honestly
oh,
think
Dave,
when Dave told me that he got I'm like, who the fuck is this Brandon guy? The guy left some voicemails on a podcast? And he's going to be like, our other guy? What the fuck?
Voicemails.
Where did you come from, bro?
I was listening to you guys before I even joined the Facebook group. And I was like, you know what? I want to join this group, and I want to become friends with these guys. I basically forced myself into your guys' life.
Yeah.
I remember you just
like a
popping up
stalker.
one day and I kept remembering the name Brandon because it sounded like you should have been younger than you were because the name Brandon to me sounds
I've
like a
always
teenager name.
been old. I've been old since I was a kid. I've always been old and miserable. So
You and
Yeah.
Parker.
The voicemail that I always remember from you is the one where you asked us what our favorite depressing movies were and you named The Day After and I was like, oh, I gotta check this out. Bought it twice and still haven't seen it.
dude, it scarred me as a kid. I probably said that on the voicemail. That it's the one movie that I saw when I was younger that had such a really scary effect on me. Really bugged me for such a long time. And I still haven't watched it again since, but I remember it like I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, that was your number one whenever you did a top 5.
Yeah. I used to love talking about depressing movies. I still like talking about depressing movies.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I this because it's on my head. I never talked about this before, and we're all here. I got to do a little more memory lane stuff and explain to you, JP, how I found 22 shots and how this all came to be and why we're here now. This goes back to this. Years ago when I was still just doing Banana Laser, I had the bright idea to start a group called Horror Podcast Central, where every different horror podcast can go on there and post their shows. The reason I created this is because I figured that if everybody was putting shows there and my show was going to be front and center since I was starting it, I would be able to poach listeners from other podcasts that didn't know that my show existed because how could you advertise?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, well, if I get as many horror podcasts as I could to join this Horror Podcast Central and they see my show come up, hey, let's give the show a try. This guy's active here. He's in the community. Maybe I can poach people's listeners and maybe we can get things going. So now I do a search for groups on Facebook and I type in horror and podcast. And anything that comes up in horror and podcast or just the word horror, and I rifle through every fucking thing. Finally, I came across 22 Shots of Moods and Horror Podcast. And I joined the fucking club.
It was
And
right at the very bottom, right?
I remember the first thing I thought of when I saw this name for a show.
The title.
I pictured this. This is what I pictured, though. I pictured 22 shots. I pictured fucking drunk guys sitting around drinking, okay, of moods. And one guy was going to be like a real curmudgeon, like a real pissed off guy, and the other guy was going to be a drunk. This is what I pictured the show was by this fucking thing. You know, okay, this is going to be a fucking like a horror show, and one guy's kind of pissed off. That's what I pictured the show was going to be. So then I started listening, and I loved the fucking show. So then I tell Jason Lloyd, hey, have you ever heard of 22 Shots of Moods and Horror? He says, no. I go, well, check this. I just joined the group amongst some others. I go, I've listened to all the shows. This is one of the few that stick out. I go, listen to this show. Maybe you know, if you ever want to add a show to a network, but check these guys. This is before I said fucking boo to you or fucking Moods or Jeremy. I was like, okay, I like the show. Jason, check these guys out. And that's how everything fucking came to be. Me trying to start horror podcasts and poach listeners.
Nice.
But you know what's weird about that and how this is all intertwined is I started listening to podcasts in about 2009 or 2010, and I had found Rabbit and Red, which was Alex's show. Well, it was Vince and Michael J's show, and Alex was there for a little bit, and then he left, and blah blah blah. And that was one of my favorite shows. It was that and a couple shows on Horror Palace, which was like the rival network to Jason Lloyd's network that I didn't even know about Jason Lloyd's network back then. And then I had written in to Alex's when Alex and Michael J reunited for Skeleton Crew. It was called Rabbit and Blue at first, and I listened to that and started fucking Brandon.
Dave. We don't know what he was.
And
doing.
I became kind of cool a little bit with Alex, and I had heard you on a show. I remember hearing you for the first time on one of the Skeleton Crews shows, Dave, and it was just bleeped out. Like they bleeped the fuck out of you. Like it was like bleep, bleep. You were talking about like porn or something like that.
Oh, the
your
porn
computer
show
or something. I think it was about underage porn, a matter of
It probably.
No, it was.
I
This
think
is
you
what
got like a virus or something like that.
I got the PH virus, Paris Hilton. This is correct, dude. Remember Kaza? Remember that thing that was
Yeah,
on?
Kaza, yeah.
Here's what happened. I was working at the casino at the time in Vegas, and I was talking to a friend at work, and he told me that I could see the Paris Hilton sex video. I don't know how the topic came up, but it did. He goes, yeah, you could just download it on Kaza. So I went home, I installed Kaza because I never had it, because I always liked Paris Hilton.
I thought it was Kazaa.
Whatever the fuck it is. I never used it one
I
time.
called it Kaza.
Kaza, rock the
I have
Kaza.
no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's like a
That's a ripoff.
One of those
Oh, okay.
download
I don't remember that
fucking
one.
like I watched Friday the
LimeWire.
Jason X on Kaza.
I remember that was a leak.
When it
That's
came
right.
out.
So I went to Kaza. I downloaded the Paris Hilton sex tape. Okay, I pressed play. You see about 1 second of it. Then the screen went blank, and I heard moans. And then the computer shut the fuck down. And then when the computer came back, when it got rebooted, there was all kinds of like stuff on my fucking home screen, on my desktop, I should say. And it was all like, did you ever see like those little, they're just like little white things or like lead you to pages or something, but they're not even, I don't know what they're called. I'm not a tech guy. But they all were fucking
Icons?
about incest shit and fucking all this other shit. And it just
Sounds like
infected
JP
a
would
virus.
JP
And
would have been
that's-
very
a
happy.
virus.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
got
where
the
you,
fucking
and that's
virus.
where you learned about
So-
Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Well, then
But yeah,
get
I
scared.
remember hearing you
Yeah.
on that talk about that, and I was like, this guy's crazy sounding. And then I don't remember how I started talking to you specifically, but I remember you telling me that you had like wanted to do all this stuff on Banana Laser and Skeleton Crew, but they didn't have time for it. And you were talking about my show, how we like would do all this stuff, and you're like, that's what I kind of want to do. Like, I would love to be able to like do more. And it's funny how like everything was like interconnected though. Without knowing that we would know each other, and I knew Alex and you knew Alex, and then we became like, it's just weird how that all happened.
Wow, and isn't it fucked up? Who would have thought way back then all this would be here? And who would have known that all this started because I was friends with Alex from, of course, the Friday the 13th fucking message board that he created in 2004.
Yeah,
We
like what was it,
were
the Crystal Lake After Dark or something?
Correct. I was on Fangoria.com message boards, and it was great for like 2 years. Then it got bought out by a different company and went to shit. But he was there, and he came in there when he first started his group. And he advertised it. Hey, guys, I just started a Friday the 13th message board. So, of course, I have to join. So I go over there and I join his fucking board, Crystal Lake After Dark. I become friends with Alex, 2003, 2004. And all because
Wow,
of
it was
my
that
friendship
long
with him.
ago? Holy shit.
Yep, I never would have known about these fucking podcasts and this whole community. He was the first one to do a podcast, and I didn't listen at first. I was like, I don't know why. He was like,
He was like 0 back then.
he was young. And then one day, I was home from work. I was sick for a few days, and I was doing some cleaning. I just moved into the house. Something happened. I was home at work, and I said, you know what? I'm going to listen to these Friday the 13th things, because he texted me a few days before about it. He goes, dude, have you ever listened to those podcasts? I said, no. He goes, you of all people have to listen to the Friday the 13th ones. I said, okay. So I put in Skeleton Crew episode 1, and I was fucking hooked. I listened to like.
So you didn't listen to Rabbit in Red before Skeleton Crew then?
No.
Okay.
Skeleton Crew episode 1 was the first thing I listened to. It was all Friday talk, and I'm like, wow, I love that this exists, and wow, I think I could do this. and that was it, and everything started from there. But
yeah, I remember messaging, like I was friends with Alex, and I was like talking about getting on a network, and I remember messaging Jason Lloyd, and he said that we had to, like, we couldn't do YouTube and stuff like that, and I was like, fuck this.
There.
And then like a year later, I reached out to him again, and I told him like that we, got, pretty decent sizes and stuff like that. And by that point, I don't think he cared. He's like, yeah, sure, you can do YouTube. And then we went and then that was like 2015, I think. So it was like right when you guys were like starting too.
Yeah, it was right around the same time.
We started at the end of 2015, but yeah, I think we released 3 episodes.
Yep.
I don't know. No, we recorded 3, but I don't know if they were all released when they were released.
What was your start date, by the way?
I thought it was December 5th.
Yeah, it was early December.
Like
wow, dude. That's kind of interesting because I think our first show posted, it was like a couple years before, but ours was like December 5th or 4th, I think. It was so weird.
Wild.
December, it was 2013, though.
And 2013 is when I started TGIF, and I started in November 4th, I think, or something like that. And I did no research. I didn't even look. I just knew that I listened to How Did This Get Made and Mark Merrim's podcast. There was maybe another one.
Mike Merriman?
Mike Merriman.
No, Mike Man. What's his name? Fuck.
Mike Mannyman?
No, what the fuck with
Manny Markman?
Candyman?
I'm gonna punch you in the fucking
Handyman
throat.
Candyman?
So
Handy Manny?
and a couple of kind of shitty podcasts. I didn't even look for Friday the 13th
Mike Merriman?
podcasts. I didn't know, so I just did a Friday the 13th podcast, and that was it. I didn't
Little
even care.
Orphan Manny?
Yeah, I'm totally ignoring you guys. If you haven't noticed.
What do you mean, you guys?
Yins? I'm
I
not
didn't even
shit.
know. Yeah.
Just us.
So, well, because they just keep going on, JP. You got to just fucking you got to
Tune 'em
stop
out.
it in its tracks.
Well, you said you were listening to Little Mike Merriman back in the day.
That's exactly verbatim what I
Mike
said.
Merriman was never little.
But the reality is that, like, I don't even know what I thought, or it was so much easier back then, I think. It was when you're naive and you just think, yeah, okay. We're using fucking AirPods with the microphone. That was my first mic for like the first 3 months.
Did you have a sock filter?
No,
Yes, he did.
that was that's when I started this show.
Oh. And I started 2013 too with Banana Laser.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, man.
But 2013 was like, the bulk, like, I mean, I didn't even care. I didn't even research if anybody had the name TGIF 13. I just said, screw it.
Honestly, from listening to TGI 13, I didn't think you researched anything when it came to that.
Oh, I fell in love. And you know what?
Dude, back in 2013, there were literally like maybe like 80 podcasts, and like half of them had like died off. Like there was really not a whole lot out there.
It's like the people that jumped on board, like kind of the pioneers, were like, fuck this shit. And then it blew up, kind of like YouTube. I was on YouTube back in 2000, whenever it came out, 2006, whatever it was. Before that, I think it was even earlier. And I remember when I was on it when you still had the 10-minute limit. Or the
right,
20,
yeah,
it was like
10 it was 10.
You could do 10-minute chunks. That's
Wow.
what you could do.
And then they upped it to 15.
Yeah, and then I kind of got out of it. I kind of fell out of it. Then I'm like, oh fuck, there's no limit now. Fuck,
Soldiers?
it's crazy. Had I known, I could have just opened up fucking like horror boxes and presents on camera. I would have
And be
started
rich.
with that way back when. Yeah, and playing Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like
who knew?
with the podcast thing, like
Yeah.
I came in, if I would have came in like a year or two earlier, like our show could probably have been one of the bigger shows, because like any of the first shows that came out that still existed or got huge, you know what I mean? Like horror movie podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
And then-
Skeleton Crew should have, and they were out before those shows. And they had
Yeah,
a
but-
horror bid as a fucking launching pad, and they gave them a lot of listeners. But they never fucking went to the next level, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, but that one show did get pretty big. The other show on Horror-Bid, like the horror show or something like that,
You know, the only thing they did differently
or
was
House of
charge-
Horror. House of
House
Horror.
of Horror. They just started charging people. That's what they did. $1
Right.
fucking retros that they started doing. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know how they got bigger because they did something on IMDb or something. I don't even fucking know what they did.
Yeah.
IMDb.
And bloody good horror was the one I heard, and I didn't think it was all that great. And I said, well, we could do better than that. And that was it. And they're pretty big now, or I think still.
Yeah, longevity at least.
Hey, in our 7th year, we just hit about 12 patrons, so I'm pretty happy. Another 7 years, we might get
Perfect.
It really isn't based on like how good you are.
Nope.
It really isn't, because I'm telling you, dude, like there was one show that was on Fangoria, like when they relaunched like years ago, they relaunched their network or whatever, and I listened to it and I was like, this is fucking average as hell. Like these guys don't even sound like real horror fans. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, how are they like this massive?
Dude, it's so weird how it is. I know some guys they have hour-long shows once a week, and all they do is they watch one movie, they make fun of it, and okay, end of the show, hour and 15-minute max, and they're fucking huge.
That actually is like a exact description of a lot of those shows. Dude.
Yeah, dude. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But again, when this came to be, I was over it. I was like, okay, this is only as high as we can go. Accept it. Let's do this. Let's try to make plans to do something else, and whatever. Here we are. You drive yourself crazy trying to fucking figure out why.
I'm not really sure why Alex's show never blew up. Like, I thought that if anybody's would have out of us, it probably would have been that one, because like the Horrorbid was like top 10 horror websites back then. Like it was really big. That site just went so downhill. I liked that site. That was the site I went to back then.
And it really was bidding at the time, wasn't it? Like people exchanging fucking things.
There was a section for that, yeah. It was like like an eBay type thing.
Right, and that's why it was big. I think it wasn't so much their stories; it was that they had that other feature. Again, I don't know. I never heard of Horrorbid at the time until they told me about it. But they were on there. See, lucky for them.
I remember what happened. So whenever there was a guy named Justin who like owned it, and he would come on Rabbit and Red sometimes and talk to Vince and Michael J or whatever. And it was like the website was like kind of blowing up. Like it was you would search for horror website and it would be like top 3 or 4 with their Bloody Disgusting and Shock T Drop and Dread Central. It was probably like 4th or 5th. And I remember they turned over the writing from the like staff writers to the community. Like you could put, like, Dave, you could just publish an article. And I remember they got into some trouble for that because some people were posting bullshit and not like fact checking it. Like I remember there was one where like they announced that Todd Farmer and Patrick Lussier began filming on the sequel to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And
I remember that.
And it was like Todd Farmer got like super pissed. He said it wasn't true and stuff like that. And I remember they got into a ton of hot water. I even remember Bloody Disgusting reporting that like these like hack journalists are posting untrue news. Like they confirmed that it wasn't true. And I remember like eventually that Justin dude sold it to someone else and they retitled the website and it just fell off a cliff.
Yep. It sure as fuck did. It's sad.
I blame Horrorphilia. We inbred with each other. We came together with a couple of really great shows, and we fucking inbred with each other. And we didn't have a Chris Hansen to fucking keep us at bay. And we all fucking made it with each other and created 10 billion shows. And now you can get a
dude, listen, Horrorphilia could have been massively successful if I think Jason, and who am I to say, you know, he could do whatever he wants, but I think it got oversaturated with too many shows. And there were too many there wasn't like scheduled releases. Like I thought that certain people should have certain days and like newer people should have like the worst days, like Sundays or something. And then also like you got to have you have to have some level of, you know, quality control there, because there were some shows that were ass on Horrorphilia, you know what I mean? And also I think that, I
think that was the name of one of the shows, Ass on Horrorphilia.
Like, I'm telling you, like, Horrorphilia should have been, like, it should have blown up like this premier spot for a horror podcast. You know what I mean? And it should, I always, the name Horrorphilia was perfect. Like, that name alone should be worth something.
That's what attracted Dave. It sounded so much like pedophilia. Sorry, Dave.
You were gonna say
last one.
Like, I wanted to make a network, but I just never felt like doing it, man. Like it's just
a
I
lot
wanted
of
to-
fucking work.
I wanted
Yeah.
one with us on it and 22 shots and like fucking maybe 2 other shows, and that's
Right.
it. When Horror Feed folded, that was my idea. A fucking network of
Right.
and you got to have quality control.
And you look for talent. Like whenever Watson came on there, I was like, okay, this guy is good. Like this guy actually is a good podcaster. Like this, you sign this show and put this show on. You know what I mean?
Duncan,
Oh,
we
the
would've had
production
it
was
Duncan.
beyond. Yeah, the production was awesome on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just, I felt like it got overcrowded there with like a bunch of bad shows. And it just, I don't know. I just feel like, and obviously Jason getting older and not really having the passion behind it probably didn't help. But it was, I thought it was such a great place and an idea. I still wish it existed.
Me too, 100%. It was great. So listen, I have one more
Back and
thing I
forth
got
with me.
Jason Luxton sent us a message. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Hello, guys. He's great. I hope you all had a great time over the holidays. I saw Dave put up a post asking for emails or voicemails, so I thought I'd leave a question here for the show. What are some of the most underrated horror soundtracks that you feel don't get talked about enough? If you have anything off the top of your head, go. I'll say Halloween 3 because I think it's the best, and it does seem to get overlooked by the other ones. I'll say Hereditary. As much as people love the movie, they don't seem to talk about the soundtrack, and I think it's fucking stellar. What else? Revenge is a real good. Oh, Under the Skin is another one.
Under the Skin.
That's what comes off
Is
the
a
top.
girl who is out of this world. I've always said I like the Halloween 5 and the Friday 5 soundtracks from the franchises.
Dude, Halloween 5, I rewatched that this
It's good.
past
the soundtrack.
October, and I was like, wow, I really like this rendition of like the Halloween theme.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought they did some good stuff with it. I used to use that because my buddy had all soundtracks. Every movie that you could think of had the fucking soundtrack if it was released. And so I would take some from him to ape the music and steal the music and put it into our movies when growing up. Yeah. I don't know why ape is the word that I go to something. But anyway, so I've always loved that soundtrack. I still hear it to this day. And In the Mouth of Madness is another good one.
Yeah,
But,
Friday 5 was. Roy had some fucking killer vocals on that one.
There's just some elements to that Harry Manfredini score that are different than the other movies, and I actually appreciate it more than a lot of the scores that he's done.
Been 5 minutes since we talked Friday. Why not?
Hey, I got to get the fuck out of here. So I just wanted to bug you one last time.
I told you guys I needed to be done by 12:30.
I know it's 1:10. Yeah, I know.
That's my fault.
I need to start listening more to soundtracks. That's all I can say about it. I don't listen enough. When I watch the movies, obviously I hear the soundtracks and I think they're great, but outside of watching the movies, I never listen. So maybe that'll be something I do next year.
That's great. JP, you think anything underrated sound?
And not off the top of my head, man. I got nothing.
Leprechaun 4, maybe?
You know, I'll tell you one thing that makes me laugh all the time is when the Shudder logo comes on and you hear dun 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 dun, and it was fucking created by John Carpenter. I'm like, I could have fucking done
really?
that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Wasn't that the big thing that he did the
I didn't know
sound?
that.
Like he created that? Am I
didn't know
wrong?
that.
I thought he did, and I'm like, I could have done that. Dun 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 dun.
Wow,
I still love
didn't know
Shudder.
that.
Shudder is the best value in
Great
horror.
year.
Yeah,
They're
anyway.
fucking
Yeah,
great this
yeah.
too. Wow.
They did have a great year. They always seem to have strong years.
The last 3 years for Shudder, man. I mean, when you look at top 10 of the year list, like you see multiple Shudder films on top 10 lists. Like I just love what they're doing, dude. Like they haven't done anything that I've been like, they're going in a bad direction. Like I think that from the beginning, I got the beta when it came out, like before it launched to the public.
Before VHS, you mean?
Yeah.
Beta
And then he
Max.
smashed it.
Yeah, I
Beta Fish?
They did a press thing where they sent out like code links for free and you got to try it and it sucked.
You
It
got
like
cuff
froze nonstop. It was like I was like, I don't know about this thing, man. But ever since then it's just been it kills.
Yeah, it's fucking great. There is one more question, but I'll save it for the next. Well, not the next show. The show after next, because I know we do have to get going. So, But that's all good. I'm just glad fucking JP finally joined us again. It's been way too long.
I would like
I'd
to
invite
say the same.
myself.
You can invite yourself anytime. You have a fucking invitation. You got the golden ticket, man. Anytime.
Oh
You know?
man. Fucking
Another Willy
Dave
Wonka
Wonka
fucking
over
reference.
here.
Yeah, I
Fucking
know.
Wonka. He's handed out about 80 golden tickets. Every guest that comes on gets a fucking golden ticket.
Well, I honestly genuinely love talking to you guys, and I feel like we don't do it enough considering how like we've all been interconnected for so many years. But especially, I mean, I talk to Dave way more than you two. Like me and Dave do like other shit together, like summer series and stuff like that. But you guys, I never get to talk to, and it seriously is all. I was like so bored this morning, so this was great.
No, it was great to have you on, and I hate to rush us off, but I do have to go, and I know Brandon said he had to be off too. So, but it was awesome. I'm glad you joined because we saw the text
off?
yesterday. What? I got to beat off.
I had to beat off? What?
I can see in your eyes. You need to beat off. Yeah. You look a little tense, doesn't he? He just looks like.
What are you talking about?
A little pent up.
Yeah.
You
Fucking
look like
Beavis.
Beavis.
Yeah, we both call him Beavis. Amazing.
Wait, do you really? I've always thought that.
Wait, no,
When he makes
Butthead,
that
I thought.
face, yeah,
I thought it's Butthead.
maybe it's
But
both.
Beavis is the
combination.
blonde.
yeah,
I know.
do it
And
again.
Rat.
Say I'm Cornholio.
Yeah, that does
All
look
right.
yeah, like Luke Perry. You know? Yeah, because Luke Perry was Beavis was based
Luke
on.
Perry now.
Oh, stop. Oh. Anyway, JP, do you have anything?
You have anything you want to plug?
No, man. Just thanks for having me on, and I'm looking forward to your top 10 of the year show.
Top 21. Thank you very much.
Yes, and looking forward to yours, of course.
Thank you.
All right, well, we gotta go.
Thank you.
Thanks again, JP.
Yes.
Thanks, listeners. We love you. Hope everybody has a great New Year. So, yeah.
Yeah. Happy
Peace.
New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Manchichi. See ya.
Say,